we will give you some guidance on how to behave while at work in an environment that is hazardous. As part of our safety procedures, it is mandatory for all our contractor personnel, including subcontractors, to undergo this KPC safety induction course before you can be granted access to the areas you will be working in. The Kenya Pipeline Company Limited, KPC, is a state corporation established by the Kenyan government in 1973. The main task of the company was to construct a pipeline system to transport refined petroleum products from Mombasa to Nairobi. In 1978, the first batch of refined petroleum products arrived by pipeline from Mombasa to the company's terminal in Nairobi's industrial area. KPC's core business is to transport refined white petroleum products on behalf of the major oil dealers. About 95% of all white oil consumed locally is transported through the pipeline network, and about 90% of the network of pipelines is centrally controlled and monitored 24 hours a day at the Nairobi Terminal Depot. Our pipeline infrastructure consists of 1,342 kilometers of multi-product pipeline and associated facilities. There are two major pipelines in place, including the Mombasa-Nairobi pipeline and the Western Kenya pipeline extension, which connects Nairobi with Kisumu and Nairobi and Eldoret. Across the country, KPC has a total of 8 storage facilities, including at port and airports. As earlier mentioned, the KPC premises are a hazardous area due to the nature of the products that we handle and store. A fire is one of the biggest safety threats, but not the only one. Therefore, KPC has done all efforts to minimize any fire risks within its premises. One example is the demarcation of our facility into 4 different zones based on the presence of flammable vapors. There is Zone 0, Zone 1, Zone 2, and the non-hazardous areas. Zone 0 is the area where flammable gases or vapors are continuously present or for long periods of time under normal operating conditions. Examples include vapor space above the petroleum product in the top of a tank or oil-water separator, or petroleum product storage drums. Zone 1 is the area where flammable gases or vapors are likely to exist under normal operating conditions. For example, the area above the tank vents and hatches and the oil-water separator, or sumps and trenches where product is likely to accumulate. Zone 2 is the area where flammable gases, vapors or liquids are not likely to exist under normal operating conditions. This includes, for example, the area around the tanks covered by the bund wall on all sides up to the height of the bund wall, 7.5 meters from the pit wall around the oil-water separator up to a height of 1 meter from the ground, and the area outside the bund wall up to the tank farm or the fencing of the plant area. Lastly, the non-hazardous area or safe area is the area where flammable gases or vapors are not expected to be present. For example, the office areas and generally outside the tank farm or plant areas are the safe areas. If during your visit you need to access zones 2, 1 or 0, you must strictly adhere to our safety standards and requirements. This requires that you shall be dressed in full safety gear, all the personal protective equipment or clothing, PPE, at all times, including safety shoes, a safety helmet, and a dust coat or overall. Within the KPC premises, there are 4 different types of safety signages. Each signage has its own distinct color. Safety signs are posted for the good of all in the work area. While inside the premises, please be aware of the signages and follow carefully their instructions. The green signages inform you about what to do in the event of an emergency. For example, in case of fire, break glass for key. Drinking or eating is not allowed in the area. Push to open emergency showers. Assemble at the emergency assembly point. The blue signages are warning signs and tell you what not to do, such as, in case of fire, do not use lifts. Danger zone. Live wires. Do not re-enter the building until authorized to do so. Use of PPE. Park as per takeoff position, and so on. The red-colored signages are prohibitive signs. For example, The maximum speed limit within KPC premises is 10 kilometers per hour. Do not use mobile phones in certain areas or when doing certain activities. Controlled access to certain areas, and so on. Lastly, we have the yellow signages that serve as warning signs, such as chemical or hazardous material storage areas, moving parts, keep clear, and so on. At KPC, we developed 10 life-saving rules which help to define the safety culture throughout our company. While you are at our premises, it is crucial for you to adhere to all of them. 1. Security check at entry roadblock and undergo a mandatory alcohol test. Once you arrive at our premises, security guards will carry out an inspection at the entrance. Our premises are a drug and alcohol-free zone. All our contractors are requested to undergo a mandatory alcohol test. If you are under the influence of alcohol or drugs, which may cause impaired judgment and reactions, you will not be allowed to enter our facility. For truck drivers in particular, there is a distinct truck inspection, which includes a pre-entry and loading check. You will also be required to deposit at the gatehouse any weapon, cigarettes, lighters, and cameras. 2. Display your contractor's badge at all times. Before entering our facility, kindly report at the security desk to get your contractor's badge. Identify yourself either by your ID card or passport. As a contractor, you should prominently display your badge at all times. 3. Obtain your work permit before starting the work. All work undertaken at KPC is conducted in accordance with the Permit to Work system. Permits are mainly issued for any works that have the potential of causing a hazard and non-routine work where documented procedures have not been developed. KPC has a number of different permits, including Safety Clearance Certificate, Electrical Permit to Work.
Zone 2 is the area where flammable gases, vapors or liquids are not likely to exist under normal operating conditions. This includes, for example, the area around the tanks, covered by the bund wall on all sides up to the height of the bund wall, 7.5 meters from the pit wall around the oil-water separator up to a height of 1 meter from the ground, and the area outside the bund wall up to the tank farm or the fencing of the plant area. Lastly, the non-hazardous area or safe area is the area where flammable gases or vapors are not expected to be present. For example, the office areas and generally outside the tank farm or plant areas are the safe areas. If during your visit you need to access zones 2, 1 or 0, you must strictly adhere to our safety standards and requirements. This requires that you shall be dressed in full safety gear, all the personal protective equipment or clothing, PPE, at all times, including safety shoes, a safety helmet, and a dust coat or overall. Within the KPC premises, there are 4 different types of safety signages. Each signage has its own distinct color. Safety signs are posted for the good of all in the work area. While inside the premises, please be aware of the signages and follow carefully their instructions. The green signages inform you about what to do in the event of an emergency. For example, in case of fire, break glass for key. Drinking or eating is not allowed in the area. Push to open emergency showers. Assemble at the emergency assembly point. The blue and air receivers should be accompanied by a valid Government of Kenya plant inspection certificate. Tank and interceptor team will require a certificate of good health before work is allowed to be authorized to do so. Some specialized works will require a job safety analysis. Hot works in Zone 0 and 2 will require a gas test. Confined space entry will require a special permit and authorization. 8. In the event of an emergency, follow your host's instructions. We limit as much as possible all risks for any emergency within our premises. There are different types of emergencies, such as an oil spill, a fire, or a personal injury. In the event of an emergency, you will hear this alarm. Wherever you are, you need to evacuate immediately
using the emergency exits clearly labeled. Do not use any lifts. Use handrails while taking the stairs. Stay alert and keep your eyes on the path ahead of you. Contractors should assemble safely outside the gatehouse, account for their staff, and await further instructions. Any missing or injured contractor should be reported to the KPC Incident Commander or nearby security staff. 9. Report any unsafe act, unsafe condition, or incident. Contractors should report all incidents, dangerous occurrences, and near misses to a KPC safety officer as well as to the attached KPC supervisor. If you need to report an incident yourself, this is what you need to do. Alert the control room or break the glass of an alarm point as follows. 10. Keep your work environment clean and in order. During the performance of your work at KPC, keep your workplace neat and tidy. Waste should be kept in secured and segregated places awaiting disposal. Once you have completed the work or assignment, ensure that site reinstatement is done as follows. Clear all wastes, equipment, tools, and excess materials. Remove barricades from the work area. Backfill all excavations. Level all uneven ground. Return safety signs. Redraw road markings, and so on. Any site remediation required due to contractor's activities shall be his responsibility. One, security check at entry roadblock and undergo a mandatory alcohol test. 2. Display your contractor's badge at all times. 3. Obtain your work permit before starting the work. 4. Conduct daily and regular equipment checks. 5. Have a toolbox stock. 6. Wear your personal protective equipment or clothing. 7. Comply with the special works requirements. 8. In the event of an emergency, follow your host's instructions. 9. Report any unsafe act, unsafe condition, or incident. 10. Keep your work environment clean and in order. At KPC, our goal is to provide a safe working environment for all contractors to ensure that every person enjoys a safe working environment. We hope you will enjoy a safe and productive visit at Kenya Pipeline Company Limited. At Kenya Pipeline Company Limited, or KPC, your safety comes first. This video is designed to give you
who can say a word of prayer for us. And then after a word of prayer, I would invite us to have a cup of tea. It is cold out there, so that we can start our program. A volunteer pastor nimekuona, ndio uweke katika mikono ya Bwana. Karibu sana. Nimeona pastor. Thank you. Welcome. Karibu sana. Karibu sana.
Okay. Thank you. I just want all of us to be on our feet. Pray together. Cheers being a week. Is it a season of safety? I've just seen saying do the right thing, report a hazard before you have to report an accident. We want to just present ourselves before our God, because the entire safety of our life is based on our Maker, the Creator. So let's just bow before Him as we acknowledge His presence in our midst. Let's just pray. Everlasting and mighty God, in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ, we are before you, full of thanksgiving for life. Thank you for the safety that you give us every day. Remembering last night, all of us, we went to bed, and we've risen up this morning, not because we are machines, that we are special, but we thank you because of your grace, thanking you because of this wonderful day. Remembering this safety week, God, season where as a company want to focus and even remember what we've done before and what is before us. Acknowledging that God, without you in KPC, without your hand, without your protection, we can never keep ourselves safe. We thank you because you're with us. Even as we begin this session, we want to involve you, we want to begin with you. We thank you for the function of today. All the activities of this day we commit it to you. We worship you and we thank you because of KPC, the board of management, the entire staff, all the way from PS1 to PS28 and all our stations. We committed, God, you keep our stations safe. In whatever we're going to do, the business we are doing, we commit it to you. We thank you and worship you for who you are. In the name of our Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit are prayed. Can we all say amen?
Amen. Let us appreciate our pastor. We can take our seats. I want to take this opportunity before I welcome you to have a cup of tea. I want us to refresh ourselves. We may settle down. I want us to refresh ourselves of our safety moment. And as our pastor has told us, we need to be aware of our environment, our space where we are. And I want just to take you through our safety moment at this particular time before we take tea. We are here at the Tintin restaurant. We have two exits. One we can point, it's on my right, the way I'm facing, on you, because you're facing me, it's on your left. And another one is on my left. So in case a fire alarm goes off, kindly and gently walk out. We can use the two exits and we'll assemble at our fire points. We'll go at the main gate where you will be guided by a fire marshal or the security on duty. I want also to point out that as we are here, we have our washrooms we can use. Our washrooms are just right behind me for the gentlemen, and for the ladies, it is at the right hand at the reception. You turn on your right. We can also use the washrooms on the first floor. They are clearly marked for those who are not familiar with the building. I want you also to be aware of the environment, that we are a bit squeezed. We are going to have our tea. So kindly, we are not serving it on the table. When you hold your tea, hold it carefully so that you don't spill to your friend or to yourself. I also want to mention that in our midst, we have first aiders. In case you're feeling a bit unwell, they are here to help us. I also want to mention that in case it's going to be a real fire, we have an incident where the alarm goes off, but because of maybe some dust and smoke in the building, if we are advised when the alarm goes off, the gate right behind us is going to be opened. We have two gates, one right on my right and another one on my left. So in case we have to leave the premises, we'll use the two gates. And kindly, gently, but as fast as you can, please make sure you're safe so that even when you're running or walking, you don't twist or strain your feet or your legs. Thank you so much. I think we are aware of now our environment. And before we serve our tea, just turn to the person you're seated next to and ask them, are you aware where you're sitting, your environment? So that we can get to know that we have understood one another. Okongo uliza Jack. See me, hujamuuliza. You are aware? Thank you. Nani ameambiwa, our neighbor, has any neighbor confirmed that they are aware of their environment? Are you safe? Thank you. So at this particular time, I want to invite, so that we can have some order and decorum, I would just wish that the behind line start serving. When they queue around, we'll join the queue so that we can have some order as we take our tea. At the same time, we have some attendance sheet. We didn't bring them on time, sorry for that. We'll make sure that a paper goes round so that we can register your attendance. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. We can start serving our tea. Karibuni sana.
We will give you some guidance on how to behave while at work in an environment that is hazardous. As part of our safety procedures, it is mandatory for all our contractor personnel, including subcontractors, to undergo this KPC safety induction course before you can be granted access to the areas you will be working. Safety standards and procedures. The Kenya Pipeline Company Limited (KPC) is a state corporation established by the Kenyan government in 1973. The main task of the company was to construct a pipeline system to transport refined petroleum products from Mombasa to Nairobi. In 1978, the first batch of refined petroleum products arrived by pipeline from Mombasa to the company's terminal in Nairobi's industrial area. KPC's core business is to transport refined white petroleum products on behalf of the major oil dealers. About 95% of all white oil consumed locally is transported through the pipeline network, and about 90% of the export market passes through the Kenya's port of Mombasa. The network of pipelines is centrally controlled and monitored 24 hours a day at the Nairobi Terminal Depot. Our pipeline infrastructure consists of 1,342 kilometers of multi-product pipeline and associated facilities. There are two major pipelines in place, including the Mombasa-Nairobi pipeline and the Western Kenya pipeline extension, which connects Nairobi and Kisumu and Nairobi and Eldoret. Across the country, KPC has a total of 8 storage facilities, including at port and airports. As earlier mentioned, the KPC premises are a hazardous area due to the nature of the products that we handle and store. A fire is one of the biggest safety threats, but not the only one. Therefore, KPC has done all efforts to minimize any fire risks within its premises. One example is the demarcation of our facility into 4 different zones based on the presence of flammable vapors. There is Zone 0, Zone 1, Zone 2, and the non-hazardous area. Zone 0 is the area where flammable gases or vapors are continuously present or for long periods of time under normal operating conditions. Examples include vapors peaks above the petroleum product in the top of a tank or oil-water separator, or petroleum product storage drums. Based on the presence of flammable Zone 1 is the area where flammable gases or vapors are likely to exist under normal operating conditions. For example, the area above the tank vents and hatches and the oil-water separator, or sumps and trenches where product is likely to accumulate. Zone 2 is the area where flammable gases, vapors or liquids are not likely to exist under normal operating conditions. This includes, for example, the area around the tanks covered by the bund wall on all sides up to the height of the bund wall, 7.5 meters from the pit wall around the oil-water separator up to a height of 1 meter from the ground, and the area outside the bund wall up to the tank farm or the fencing of the plant area. Lastly, the non-hazardous area or safe area is the area where flammable gases or vapors are not expected to be present. For example, the office areas and generally outside the tank farm or plant areas are the safe areas. If during your visit you need to access zones 2, 1 or 0, you must strictly adhere to our safety standards and requirements. This requires that you shall be dressed in full safety gear, all the personal protective equipment or clothing, PPE, at all times, including safety shoes, a safety helmet, and a dust coat or overall. Within the KPC premises, there are 4 different types of safety signages. Each signage has its own distinct color. Safety signs are posted for the good of all in the work area. While inside the premises, please be aware of the signages and follow carefully their instructions. The green signages inform you about what to do in the event of an emergency. For example, in case of fire, break glass for key. Drinking or eating is not allowed in the area. Push to open emergency showers. Assemble at the emergency assembly point. The blue signages are warning signs and tell you what not to do, such as, in case of fire, do not use lifts. Danger zone, live wires, do not re-enter the building until authorized to do so. Use of PPE, park as per takeoff position, and so on. The red-colored signages are prohibitive signs. For example, the maximum speed limit within KPC premises is 10 km per hour. Do not use mobile phones in certain areas or when doing certain activities. Controlled access to certain areas, and so on. Lastly, we have the yellow signages that serve as warning signs, such as chemical or hazardous material storage areas, moving parts, keep clear, and so on. At KPC, we developed 10 life-saving rules which help to define the safety culture throughout our company. While you are at our premises, it is crucial for you to adhere to all of them. 1. Security check at entry roadblock and undergo a mandatory alcohol test. Once you arrive at our premises, security guards will carry out an inspection at the entrance. Our premises are a drug and alcohol-free zone. All our contractors are requested to undergo a mandatory alcohol test. If you are under the influence of alcohol or drugs, which may cause impaired judgment and reactions, you will not be allowed to enter our facility. For truck drivers in particular, there is a distinct truck inspection, which includes a pre-entry and loading check. You will also be required to deposit at the gatehouse any weapon, cigarettes, lighters, and cameras. 2. Display your contractor's badge at all times. Before entering our facility, kindly report at the security desk to get your contractor's badge. Identify yourself either by your ID card or passport. As a contractor, you should prominently display your badge at all times. 3. Obtain your work permit before starting the work. All work undertaken at KPC is conducted in accordance with the Permit to Work system. Permits are mainly issued for any works that have the potential of causing a hazard and non-routine work where documented procedures have not been developed. KPC has a number of different permits, including Safety Clearance Certificate, Electrical Permit to Work, Hot Works Permit. You shall not commence any work until the appropriate permit has been issued. Once issued, you shall display it at the worksite as well as abide by and follow all the requirements stated in the permits. 4. Conduct daily and regular equipment checks. At KPC, we expect that all our contractors use tools and equipment that are certified and in compliance with our standards. Before any work can start, the KPC supervisor attached to the work will ensure that all equipment and tools used by the contractor are in good working condition. 5. Have a toolbox stock. A toolbox stock is critical and should be held before any work starts, as the talk equips workers with specific work-related safety issues such as potential hazards, controls, and safe work practices. Toolbox talks should be held at the beginning of every shift, kept short, and conducted at the worksite. 6. Wear your personal protective equipment or clothing. Contractors and staff are required to wear their personal protective equipment or clothing, or PPE, for every work that has a potential to cause a hazard. Different jobs require different PPEs. The basic PPE requirement in KPC consists of safety shoes, a safety helmet, and a dust coat or overall. No work can commence without all workers having the relevant PPE. 7. Comply with the special works requirements. There are certain works or equipment that demand special considerations before any work can start. Lifting equipment and air receivers should be accompanied by a valid Government of Kenya plant inspection certificate. Tank and interceptor cleaning will require a certificate of good health before work is allowed to commence. Some specialized works will require a job safety analysis. Hot works in Zone 0, 1 and 2 will require a gas test. Confined space entry will require a special permit and authorization. 8. In the event of an emergency, follow your host's instructions. We limit as much as possible all risks for any emergency within our premises. There are different types of emergencies, such as an oil spill, a fire, or a personal injury. In the event of an emergency, you will hear this alarm. Wherever you are, you need to evacuate immediately using the emergency exits clearly labeled. Do not use any lifts. Use handrails while taking the stairs. Stay alert and keep your eyes on the path ahead of you. Contractors should assemble safely outside the gatehouse, account for their staff, and await further instructions. Any missing or injured contractor should be reported to the KPC Incident Commander or nearby security staff. 9. Report any unsafe act, unsafe condition, or incident. Contractors should report all incidents, dangerous occurrences, and near misses to a KPC safety officer as well as to the attached KPC supervisor. If you need to report an incident yourself, this is what you need to do. Alert the control room injured contractor should be reported to the KPC or break the glass of an alarm point or nearby security staff. 10. Keep your work environment clean and in order. Condition or incident. During the performance of your work at KPC, keep your workplace neat and tidy. Waste should be kept in secured and segregated places awaiting disposal. Once you have completed the work or assignment, ensure that site reinstatement is done as follows. Clear all wastes, equipment, tools, and excess materials. Remove barricades from the work area. Keep your work environment clean and in order. Excavations. During the performance of your work at KPC, keep your work safety and tidy. Redraw road markings and so on. And segregated places awaiting disposal. Any site remediation required due to contractors' activities shall be his responsibility. Statement is done as follows. Clear all wastes, equipment, tools, and excess materials. 1. Remove barricades security check at area. Entry roadblock and undergo a mandatory alcohol test. Level all uneven ground. 2. Return safety display signs. Your contractor's badge at all times. Road markings and so on. 3. Obtain your work permit before starting the work. Contractor's activities shall be his responsibility. 4. Conduct daily and regular equipment checks. 5. Have a toolbox stock. Security check at entry roadblock. 6. And undergo a wear mandatory your personal protective test. Equipment or clothing. 2. 7. Display your contractor's badge special at works requirements. 8. Obtain your work permit before starting the follow work. Your host's instructions. 4. 9. Conduct report any unsafe act, unsafe checks. Condition or incident. 5. Have 10. A toolbox stock. Keep your work environment clean and in 6. Order. Wear your personal protective equipment or clothing. Our goal is to provide a safe working environment for 7. All contractors to ensure that every person enjoys a safe working environment. We hope 8. You will enjoy a safe and productive visit at Kenya Pipeline Company Limited. Instructions. 9. Report any unsafe act, unsafe condition at Kenya Pipeline Company Limited. or KPC.
10.
Your safety comes first.
Keep your work
This video
environment
is designed to
clean
give you an
and in order.
overview of our safety standards and procedures
At
to keep
KPC,
in mind while
our
at work.
goal is to provide a
Due
safe
to the
working
nature of our
environment for all
operations,
contractors
our premises
to
are
ensure that
considered as a high-risk operations area. We will give you some guidance on how to behave while at work in an environment that is hazardous. As part of our safety procedures, it is mandatory for all our contractor personnel, including subcontractors, to undergo this KPC safety induction course before you can be granted access to the areas you will be working in. The Kenya Pipeline Company Limited, KPC, is a state corporation established by the Kenyan government in 1973. The main task of the company was to construct a pipeline system to transport refined petroleum products from Mombasa to Nairobi. In 1978, the first batch of refined petroleum products arrived by pipeline from Mombasa to the company's terminal in Nairobi's industrial area. KPC's core business is to transport refined white petroleum products on behalf of the major oil dealers. About 95% of all white oil consumed locally is transported through the pipeline network, and about 90% of the export market passes through the Kenya's port of Mombasa. The network of pipelines is centrally controlled and monitored 24 hours a day at the Nairobi Terminal Depot. Our pipeline infrastructure consists of 1,342 kilometers of multi-product pipeline and associated facilities. There are two major pipelines in place, including the Mombasa-Nairobi pipeline and the Western Kenya pipeline extension, which connects Nairobi and Kisumu and Nairobi and Eldoret. Across the country, KPC has a total of 8 storage facilities, including at port and airports. As earlier mentioned, the KPC premises are a hazardous area due to the nature of the products that we handle and store. A fire is one of the biggest safety threats, but not the only one. Therefore, KPC has done all efforts to minimize any fire risks within its premises. One example is the demarcation of our facility into 4 different zones based on the presence of flammable vapors. There is Zone 0, Zone 1, Zone 2, and the non-hazardous areas. Zone 0 is the area where flammable gases or vapors are continuously present or for long periods of time under normal operating conditions. Examples include vapor space above the petroleum product in the top of a tank or oil-water separator, or petroleum product storage drums. Zone 1 is the area where flammable gases or vapors are likely to exist under normal operating conditions. For example, the area above the tank vents and hatches and the oil-water separator, or sumps and trenches where product is likely to accumulate. Zone 2 is the area where flammable gases, vapors or liquids are not likely to exist under normal operating conditions. This includes, for example, the area around the tanks covered by the bund wall on all sides up to the height of the bund wall, 7.5 meters from the pit wall around the oil-water separator up to a height of 1 meter from the ground, and the area outside the bund wall up to the tank farm or the fencing of the plant area. Lastly, the non-hazardous area or safe area is the area where flammable gases or vapors are not expected to be present. For example, the office areas and generally outside the tank farm or plant areas are the safe areas. If during your visit you need to access zones 2, 1 or 0, you must strictly adhere to our safety standards and requirements. This requires that you shall be dressed in full safety gear, all the personal protective equipment or clothing, PPE, at all times, including safety shoes, a safety helmet, and a dust coat or overall. Within the KPC premises, there are 4 different types of safety signages. Each signage has its own distinct color. Safety signs are posted for the good of all in the work area. While inside the premises, please be aware of the signages and follow carefully their instructions. The green signages inform you about what to do in the event of an emergency. For example, in case of fire, break glass for key. Drinking or eating is not allowed in the area. Push to open emergency showers. Assemble at the emergency assembly point. The blue signages are warning signs and tell you what not to do, such as, in case of fire, do not use lifts, danger zone, live wires, Do not re-enter the building until authorized to do so. Use of PPE. Park as per takeoff position, and so on. The red-colored signages are prohibitive signs. For example, the maximum speed limit within...
I want to request my colleagues at the back, kindly let us just gently move forward. We occupy these seats so that our colleagues who are coming in can be able to get some space to sit at the back without interrupting and getting movements here and there. Kindly, those who are at the back, mwende naongea na wewe, unajua ubaya na wajua majina, so let me not call your name. Kindly come. Thank you, Catherine. At the back there, Sonia and the group. Eric, please, kina Tony, kina Juma usiniangalia. I know all of you guys. Just come so that we can occupy these seats. And those who have finished taking their tea, they can return the cups so that we can start in 10 minutes. Those who have not taken, the queue is now not long. You can take your tea. Thank you for coming. Those at the back, please come. Kuja, Sheru kuja, kujeni nyi wote. And come. I want us to occupy these seats. And as we take our tea, I want us just to introduce to us why we are here today. As you are aware, we are marking our World Safety Day today. This day is observed by the whole world to actually create awareness in our workplaces, see means and strategies of actually preventing occupational and health diseases. So as you are here, I want us to actually open ourselves so that we can know how we are going to minimize the chances of us getting hurt at our workplaces. I can see some seats here which are not occupied. Juma, please, ruka tu mbele tumalizane, si my dear. Charlie, ruka hapo mbele tumalizane, tukae kwa hizi viti si zote, so that we minimize those who are coming. Na hizi za mbele, kujeni. Mulungwa, please come with your team, that line, the whole of it. Kujeni tu pole pole. With your team, please come to occupy these ones. Thank you. Tukae pale, thanks. As we settle down, as we wait to invite our speaker for the next session, I just want us to do something. We answer 1 or 2 questions so that we can know why we are here. I want us to answer this question. Whoever doesn't have a cup, mi najua Lokoyani hauna kikombe, ameshika kwa sababu I've mentioned whoever doesn't have a cup. What is the theme for our health safety department in KPC? Mtu akibeba mkono nitampatia fursa ya kuongea. Our theme? Agina anakula. Those who don't have, I know it is everywhere, it is written in this room. Our theme for the health safety department, we are reading it everywhere. Anyone to shout? Somebody is shouting somewhere? People who are confusing others. When you see our poster there, we have a theme. What does it say? We want the you do the right thing, you report a hazard before you have to report an accident. But I want you to read the red one. The one which is in red. I want you to read it. Let us all shout it. Yes, my safety, my life. And I want you to tell the person you're seated next to do that safety begins with me. Don't point them. Point yourself. Please do that. Yes, safety begins with me, because if you're not safe, then your neighbor is also not safe. Cindy, is that right? Now, I want also to ask another question. A question which we just think. When you're working with your colleague, and then that colleague falls down, you're just walking on a slippery, say steep slippery slope. What do? When you're working with a colleague on a slippery but steep slope, what do? I just want a hand. This is common sense. As we finish taking our tea, what do? I want to turn the other side. Kinaloko. I want this answer. When you are working with, let me not even say a colleague. When you are working with your loved one on a steep slope, which is slippery, and she slips and falls, what do? Yes. Please let me get your attention. You slide. Yoko is saying you slide. Any other trial? All answers are right, are correct. Any other trial? Any other trial? Immaculate, you may try. What do? Okay, let me repeat the question. Let me get your attention. It has rained. You are walking with your loved one. If you are a lady, you are walking with your hubby. If you are hubby, you are walking with your wife. And then all of a sudden, your wife or your hubby slips and falls, and you are on a steep slope. What do? Ladies and gentlemen, there is a lesson I want us to learn. There is a lesson I want us to learn from this. So let us get volunteers giving the answer. Remember, safety starts with me, isn't it? What do? What do? Dennis, let me have your attention. What do? What do? Dennis is not aware. I asked her a question. Any trial, because you have to do something, or you just continue working and you leave them. Is that what you do? Yes. Thank you. Tumpigie makofi tafadhali. First, you have to look around. You have to scan and see, are you also safe to start lifting or helping her up? That is the first step you take. The second one? Talk to me. Somebody talk to me. Talk to me. I want to hear you talk. The second one? Mulungwa, you want to try? He's saying that he will help her up to see if he's injured. That's a good trial. Have you established that where you are is safe? Imagine he helped her up na wakaanguka wote wakaenda. So let's clap for him. He has tried. Thank you. I think what we need to do as we observe our environment, we need to identify all the hazards which are there. In this case, it was a steep, slippery slope. So after you know that you are safe, because safety begins with you, is when you can start attending to that person. First, you talk to them to know if they are hurt, they are feeling any pain anywhere. From there, if it is about maybe a leg which is broken or a hand, then you know where to handle. At least today we have learned something, isn't it? Thank you so much. I also want us just to be aware. Today we are creating awareness of what to do and how we can protect ourselves. So for those who have finished their tea, please, you can take your cups at the back, and so that we can be able to start our meeting. Thank you. I'll give you 5 minutes for those who are finished to take their cups back at the counter so that we minimize the accidents around. There's also a list which is going around. Make sure you sign the attendance list. I forgot to mention, somebody reminded me, I said we have our washrooms right behind me, but please, we are not using this door. If you want to access the washrooms, you have to walk outside on your left or on your right so that you can go to our reception and then you will access the washroom facilities. Thank you so much. Let us return our cups before I introduce the next speaker. Thank you.
Chemical or hazardous material storage areas, moving parts, keep clear, and so on. At KPC, we developed 10 life-saving. While you are at our premises, it is crucial for you to adhere to all of them. 1. Security check at entry roadblock and undergo a mandatory alcohol test. Once you arrive at our premises, security guards will carry out an inspection at the entrance. Our premises are a drug and alcohol-free zone. All our contractors are requested to undergo a mandatory alcohol test. If you are under the influence of alcohol or drugs, which may cause impaired judgment and reactions, you will not be allowed to enter our facility. For truck drivers in particular, there is a distinct truck inspection, which includes a pre-entry and loading check. You will also be required to deposit at the gatehouse any weapon, cigarettes, lighters, and cameras. 2. Display your contractor's badge at all times. Before entering our facility, kindly report at the security desk to get your contractor's badge. Identify yourself either by your ID card or passport. As a contractor, you should prominently display your badge at all times. 3. Obtain your work permit before starting the work. All work undertaken at KPC is conducted in accordance with the Permit to Work system. Permits are mainly issued for any works that have the potential of causing a hazard and non-routine work where documented procedures have not been developed. KPC has a number of different permits, including Safety Clearance Certificate, Electrical Permit to Work, Hot Works Permit. You shall not commence any work until the appropriate permit has been issued. Once issued, you shall display it at the worksite as well as abide by and follow all the requirements stated in the permits. 4. Conduct daily and regular equipment checks. At KPC, we expect that all our contractors use tools and equipment that are certified and in compliance with our standards. Before any work can start, the KPC supervisor attached to the work will ensure that all equipment and tools used by the contractor are in good working condition. 5. Have a toolbox talk. A toolbox talk is critical and should be held before any work starts, as the talk equips workers with specific work-related safety issues such as potential hazards, controls, and safe work practices. Toolbox talks should be held at the beginning of every shift, kept short, and conducted at the worksite. 6. Wear your personal protective equipment or clothing. Contractors and staff are required to wear their personal protective equipment or clothing, or PPE, for every work that has a potential to cause a hazard. Different jobs require different PPEs. The basic PPE requirement in KPC consists of safety shoes, a safety helmet, and a dust coat or overall. No work can commence without all workers having the relevant PPE. 7. Comply with the special works requirements. There are certain works or equipment that demand special considerations before any work can start. Lifting equipment and air receivers should be accompanied by a valid Government of Kenya plant inspection certificate. tank and interceptor cleaning will require a certificate of good health before work is allowed to commence. Some specialized works will require a job safety analysis. Hot works in Zone 0, 1 and 2 will require a gas test. Confined space entry will require a special permit and authorization. 8. In the event of an emergency, follow your host's instructions. We limit as much as possible all risks for any emergency within our premises. There are different types of emergencies, such as an oil spill, a fire, or a personal injury. In the event of an emergency, you will hear this alarm. Wherever you are, you need to evacuate immediately using the emergency exits clearly labeled. Do not use any lifts. Use handrails while taking the stairs. Stay alert and keep your eyes on the path ahead of you. Contractors should assemble safely outside the gatehouse, account for their staff, and await further instructions. Any missing or injured contractor should be reported to the KPC Incident Commander or nearby security staff. 9. Report any unsafe act, unsafe condition, or incident. Contractors should report all incidents, dangerous occurrences, and near misses.
Please, ladies and gentlemen, I want us to carry on with our program for today. And I want us to familiarize ourselves with the theme of this year 2022 on safety. So the theme for this year 2022, I want your attention please, is act together to build a positive and health safety culture. Act together to build a positive health and safety culture. That is our theme for the World Safety Health Day today for the year 2022. And I want to invite our Chief Environmental Officer, Madam Carol Kiplagat, to come and take us through this session. Let us put our hands together for Carol Kiplagat as she comes.
Good morning, everybody. Can you hear me? You can hear me from the back? Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody in the outside stations. I think that's what we appreciate about technology. That as we weren't able to all converge together here in Nairobi, that this celebration is being celebrated in all our depots and stations. And we want to thank management for making that possible. I trust everybody here has had their tea. I trust all the people in the outside stations have also got to enjoy the refreshments provided for them. Some of you may not know that they are converging and also just celebrating the theme. I wanted to, as we sit here, you really appreciate what World Safety Day is, so that we're not just converging for the sake, it's a very serious day that is celebrated globally, and it's under the International Labour Organization. It started in 2003, and it's just a day that promotes the prevention of occupational accidents and creates awareness about safety. Unfortunately, safety is seen as reactive, and that's where it started. In 1996, what used to be celebrated or commemorated was workers who have lost their lives due to occupational accidents, or people who have ended up getting injuries. You understand, like I think you realize the last incident in Kenya that was, that got a lot of social attention was the worker in a metal factory who ended up melting and boiling to death. I don't think any of us, when we leave our work, our homes in the morning, expect to come here and not be provided a safe environment and go back without a limb or dead. So it's very important to appreciate that that is a history of World Safety Day. The theme is thought of every year, and as our MC Mercy has told you, it's about this year. The theme that ILO have chosen is promoting is about participation, just encouraging social interaction about safety matters. So in your own way, we don't like people to think that safety is about us as a safety department. But being that we spend 40 hours of our work, more than by the time you get home at 6, or sometimes people, because of traffic, you get home at 9, you spend 2 hours with your children, you sleep. So appreciate that most of your working life is actually spent in the workplace. And that's why when all these investments, PPE is the last resort. When you wear your helmet, you need to appreciate what safety is as you drive, as you enter your office, so that when we are asking you to participate in safety prevention measures, that you appreciate that it could affect not only you, but your colleague. Some of you even work here with your spouses, your children work here, that safety is about you and even the people around you. So a critical statistic based on what World Safety Day is all about, in the past 5 years, we have lost 2 employees to workplace accidents. We had an accident that happened near PS5, I think most of you are aware, where we lost an employee. In 2018, we lost another employee due to an electrocution incident in PS24. We've had workers who have had restricted work cases, lost time away from work, and it's not even just about the cost to the company. You can imagine when you're dead and you're the sole beneficiary in your home, you affect a whole bunch of people behind you. We've also had COVID, which is a new phenomena that we've also lost work. I think we lost 2 people last year, and we've had people who were also affected and had to be away from work. And some of us got COVID in our workplace. So let's appreciate that at that time when the measures were put on masks, sanitizing, social distancing, online meetings, those are some of the measures that the company had in place. So being that I've mentioned that we've lost the lives, I would really want us to take a moment of silence to appreciate the lives lost not only here in KPC, but also globally by workers in their places of work. So let's take a moment, please. Thank you. So while we honor injured and fallen workers, we appreciate and celebrate that injuries and fatalities can be prevented and reduced. Yeah? So when we are telling you guys report near misses, or now what we are calling Soca, which you'll be taken through later on in the program, please appreciate it's really about promoting a healthy safety culture where your eyes are always open to what is safety. Can this cable affect the person coming behind me? Can me, just anything unsafe affect the next person or myself? So let's think about it, how it affects you in your home. I've had to put off a fire in my brother's house because he knew I'm in safety, and his oven caught fire, and I had my name being shouted. So I wouldn't imagine that people will rely on us as safety to deal with everything safety related. When you see all these extinguishers, when you see fire blankets in the kitchen, when you see all the necessary provision the company has provided here, please familiarize yourself. And that's why I want to now let you guys know that safety is just more than the HSE department. I'll introduce you to the different teams and people who have gone above and beyond their call of duty in assisting the company and putting their lives in the front to assist in safety, prevention, and other initiatives. But I'll start off first by asking the SHE department team to stand up. Maybe some of you don't know them. Kindly, SHE team, including our interns, please stand up. Safety, health, environment is, I know before it used to be safety, then it became HSE, and then it became now SHE. So it's safety, health, environment. It's no longer SHEC. Q was taken to quality assurance, for those who may not be aware. So I'll start off maybe with our acting SHE manager, Engineer Lucy Karaoke. You'll be getting to interact with her again later in the program. We have Dennis Azenga, who is our acting safety officer in charge of Nairobi region. Dennis, wave. We have Immaculate Musangi here, who is our safety officer based in Nairobi Terminal. And Ruth, Betty Kipsey, Ruth Bet, our safety assistants. And then the interns just joined us last week, but they can also wave and they'll be playing a very critical role in, you'll get to know them, Karibuni. Then we have Jennifer, who also is our assistant in HSC. Okay, and then now just real quick, so that you see that HSC is more than just, and in the different stations, kindly do the same. We may not be able to see you appreciating these teams, but as I talk about the different teams, please acknowledge next I'd like the HSC committee members to stand up. The few who are here, they may not be here. If you're a HSC committee member, kindly stand up so we can recognize you. Okay, we have Thomas. Thomas, just come to the front real quick. And then we have Immaculate, and we have Agina. I just want you to appreciate that Thomas is in operations, we have Agina in enterprise risk. So HSC committee is a requirement by the law, and we have representation from management all the way to union. But I'll let somebody from the horse's mouth just tell us what your role is and, you know, how you came into HSC committee.
So my name is Thomas Ababadi. I am in operations, PS10. And I was appointed by the MD to the HSC committee through safety nominations or the department's nominations. And what we do is we investigate accidents and incidents when they occur. We inspect workplaces, identify hazards, and then I think something that we forget as KPC in general is we are here as representatives of the workers. HSC committee is supposed to be an adequate representation of both management and of us as the personnel. So if you have safety and health concerns, you are supposed to channel them through your HSC committees or HSC committee reps. That's something I think most of us do not know.
Thank you, Thomas. So these are appointed members who get a letter from the MD. They are trained. They are valid for 2 years. So for those of you who, as Thomas has said, any issues that you have HSC committee is one of the ways that you can channel. It's a requirement by the law. So thank you, Thomas. We have first aiders who are also appointed and trained. First aiders, do we have any here? I know we recently finished training first aiders, and we ensured that every station is represented so that in case of an injury that doesn't need medical attention, we have first aid boxes and the people will be able to address you. We have first aid boxes on every floor, every workshop, and they would be able to assist you. So I would have hoped there were some here, you would get to know them. But what we are doing now is posting names in the wings so that you know who your first aider is. So please take the initiative of knowing these people. We have fire marshals and ERT. This is a very special team to us. I would like to honor them. Kindly stand up, ERT members and fire marshals. Now, what I'm saying, I'd really like to appreciate this team. When we have incidents, and we've had several, some of you may not know, we've had incidents of spillages, we've had fires. I think some of you even remember last year in April, we had, as you were leaving work on a Friday afternoon, we had MSP that was spewing onto Nanyuki Road, and people were just driving past. But the first people that we rely on during an emergency as part of our emergency response procedure are these ERT men and women who are in every station. They're also appointed by management. We equip them by training. They attend weekly sessions. In Nairobi, we do bi-weekly, and they are trained by our HSC firemen. Peter Kituku is one of our trainers. Ben Alogo is not here at the moment. But I would want you to hear from one of them what their role is. And so that if you feel that this is something you would like to be a part of, we are always calling on people who would like to join our teams. You would just come to our office and we would ensure that, because it takes commitment. There are people who, yes, are appointed, but don't show up for the trainings. But I would say this team standing have shown dedication, and I would really like to appreciate them. But first, let me call, Peter, would you speak on behalf of them, and Kituku?
Habari zenu. Kwa majina naitwa Okongo Gabriel. Mimi boss wetu hayuko. Boss wetu anaitwa Joseph Obok and he's not there. So I'm standing in for him. As just Madam Caro I've just said, our main purpose of ERT. Okay, first of all, ERT means Emergency Response Team. So ERT is just in short. So our main task is to see to it that each and every person within the premises is going under a conducive working environment. I think that's the main purpose of the team. Okay. So far, I think it is better if each and every one of us say his or her name.
Naitwa Peter Wino. We have been in ART for 4 years. Yes. And in fact, some of you never know what we go through. We normally attend so many emergencies in and around this company. Some of them the fires that have the potential even to consume the entire industrial area. We have managed even to put them out. So that is what we normally do. And we are appointed by the managing director of this company.
Thank you. My name is Mercy Wesutila. I am a fire marshal in the head office. We are actually responsible to making sure that all our colleagues are safe in the event of any incident. We actually organize and evacuate where possible, where there is whether real or a drill. We have worked together to put out fires which are within and outside KPC. Last one was the National Oil Depot, where this team responded in the minimum time of 3 minutes, and they actually put out the fire. So we play a key role in the safety of the company and of our colleagues, and we plead and we actually encourage that each one of you can be able to join and have an experience. It is for you and for the company and for your family. Thank you.
Good morning all. My name is Peter Kituku. I've been in ERT for the last 18 or so years. I first pass my apologies for Ben Alogo is on leave and Bernard Mandu. They are a part of this team. Secondly, I would like to request management and our engineers to train more in ERT. Some of our ERT members were transferred to other stations. So most of them have not been trained. I'm requesting for that. Secondly, I request ERT members all to be available. Don't switch off your phones. Anytime you are required, please you respond. Thank you so much.
Good morning. My name is Enos Mito, ERT team member based at head office. Our work is to keep the KPC safe. In case of emergency, we evacuate all staff and directed to the fire assembly so that they know what to do. We shall have our team who will speak on our behalf. After that, we shall talk to them where the alarm is and what caused the alarm, whether it is inside or the outside. Thank you.
Habari zenyu. Kwa majina naitwa Jacob Nyambere. Niko civil section. Nimekaa ERT for the last 4 years. Nimeattend emergency mingi sana. Iko moja ilikuwa terminal, spillage, interceptor. It was around 3 o'clock. Sijui naweza sema nini. Ilikuwa mbaya sana, lakini tulibambana naye na hii group yetu mpaka tukacontain the spillage. So ile kitu naweza omba wale walichaguliwa kwa ERT, kujeni tu train. Hii kampuni ni yetu sisi sote. Ukiniwachia responsibility ya kuzima moto, mimi peke yangu sitaweza. Juu saa zingine nitakuwa nimechoka. Hii kazi ni ngumu. Tumeenda mara mingi hapa nje, hapa kwetu. Saa zingine unapata the last iko emergency ilikuwa tank farm. Naweza kumbuka iko transformer ililipuka. Kila mtu alikimbia wote. Tukabaki watu 3. Sisi ndio tulikimbia huko ndani. Wengine wote take off. So mimi naomba safety pia wapatie ERT support. Support is very important. Tukipewa support, watu watafanya kazi na roho moja. Na kama iko emergency, tutabambana naye. Asanteni sana. Kwa hini na siku njema.
Habari zenyu. Kwa majina ni Chris Abatia, ERT member HQ hapa. This is my first year, so I'm just still new to the team, but we are tunagrow pamoja. Asanteni.
Amjamboni nyote. Amjambo. Nafurahia naona nyuso zenu zinang'aa. Sisi ni wana hii timu yetu mmesikia ni timu ya ERT, Emergency Responsible Team. Mimi naitwa kwa majina naitwa Jacob Mugono Opondo. Based Nairobi Terminal. Naitwa PS10 kwa wageni. Section yangu ni admin. Hii ni mwaka wangu wa 4 kwa na hii team. The 4th year. Vile tuna team leaders. Najua kwa kina kikao kuna wakubwa. Kuna chairman, kuna OCS, kuna commander, sisi ni wadogo. Boss vile ameshaongea, amesema tumemenyana na kazi imekuwa ngumu simu kweli ya hii ERT. Kuna members, kuna wafanyikazi hawafati sheria ya safety rules. Akiona mtu wa ERT, mtu hana PPEs ama hajavaa, akuona ukimshtua anaogopa ama anajificha kwa choo. Upita anaona mtu wa ERT anajificha na akimbie kwa ofisi avae. Sio vizuri. Hizi PPEs tumepewa siji ya urembo ama ni nini. Itakusaidia ukiona umevaa helmet. Kuna kitu ni za object ni za kaanguka kutoka juu kupige kama hujavaa helmet. Nini itafanyika? Kichwa inapasuka. Kama una Mungu wako siku hiyo ni siku yako. Sasa tufuate hiyo sheria. Hizi zile tumefanya Ya mwisho ile tulikuwa nayo wakati tulikuja kazi asubuhi 6. Jirani yetu hapa tulifikiri ni knock, tunaona moshi inatoka. Baadaye mkubwa Dr. Irongo anipigia wakubwa wetu kina Karo, atuambie twende tu saidie jirani yetu. Hizi nyumba za shirika la Nairobi County kwa naungua. Tukaenda tukamenyana na hiyo moto. NMS walishindwa. Sisi tunienda hapo, wakaja hapo wakaona, akasema hapo mambo kwisha. Ukiona hii gari ya KPC mambo kwisha. Wanifurahia. Tulimenyana na hiyo moto dakika 3. Tunimaliza hiyo kitu. So ile naweza kaaji young people wale wameingia kwenye shirika hii bombo la mafuta, mnakaribishwa kwenye hii timu yetu ya ERT. Msione kuna ubaguzi. Njooni, mtujoin, mtrainiwe. Hata hii mazoezi inakusaidia wewe mwenyewe hapa na nje. Labda utapata jirani yako nyumba inaungua, utafanya nini? Utatoroka pia? Utatoroka? Utamsaidia? Kujeni tufanye mazoezi, tufundishwe. We are here to learn. Au sio wageni? Msione haya, tunafanya mazoezi kuanzia Monday na Wednesday, mara 2 kwa wiki. Asanteni sana. Najua mimi naweza kuongea mingi. Wacha niwachie wengine.
Morning everyone. My name is Ruth Pet and I am an ERT team, and we normally train in the tank farm on Wednesday and Monday, and we normally work as a team, and I urge everybody who is an ERT to come and join us. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Betty Kipse. I'm an ERT member. We normally do the response of any emergencies within KPC and outside KPC. Thank you.
Mjambo wanabomba wenza. Naomba mnipungie mkono iwapo mnaniona. Asanteni. So langu tu ni kumalizia kusema kwamba asanteni kwa kuja kwa siku hii ya leo, kwa hafla ya leo, tupate kujumuika pamoja kama familia ya wanabomba. Licha hayo kuweza kuenzi wale ambao kila wakati wamejiweka katika mstari ya mbele iwapo kuna dharura. Langu ni kuwashukuru hawa Wakenya wenzangu ambao kwa kweli kila wakati tuwashiriki kwa kazi nzuri ambao kwa njia moja ama nyingine tuwasaidia shirika letu ambalo tunalienzi. Na licha hayo vile vile Wakenya wenza ambao ni jirani wetu ambao wahitaji dharura wakati nyingi. So langu tu ni kusema ni asante. Na licha hayo naomba ya kwamba safety, kitengo cha safety, tafadhali tupe support, tafadhali be there for ERTs, na tafadhali pia wape ujuzi ambao wahitaji zaidi hapo. Asanteni.
Asanteni sana. I think you've heard everything from the horse's mouth.
Having said that, from today henceforth, because safety is enforcing, I will be emailing names of the attendants of ERT every Monday and Wednesday to Karo. Every Mondays and Wednesdays. ERT is enforcing. So every ERT member you have to attend. Thank you so much.
Okay, I'm being told that time is running too fast, but I have appeal to make to through Madam Karo. Please arrange how these people should be trained further, please.
So let's appreciate these ERTs and those in the outer stations for the commitment and putting their lives in the front line. And again, a call for those who would like to be part of this team. It's a skill that you're not just using in the office, it's something you take to your home. So, I mean, I don't see where you would go wrong with that. Finally, there's one critical thing that maybe most of you may not be aware. There'll be a whole activity around it, but I would like to mention we have a health, safety, environment management system, but we also have an ISO system, which is currently being integrated. So we work hand in hand with the other departments who own their own standards. So I'd like to give Agina 2 minutes to just mention what is happening behind the scenes so that when we are kicking off integration, you're all in the loop.
Okay, thank you so much. Maybe you clap for me before I start. Yeah. Ndio mkwe mmelipa deni in advance. So my name is Agina. I just wanted to bring to your attention that we are currently in the process of integrating the management systems that we have in KPC, meaning that we have ISO 9001, which is on quality management system, ISO 45000, which is on occupational health and safety, and the last standard is ISO 14, which is on environmental management system. So these standards are being integrated. That therefore means that we are going to use a single document to manage all the 3 standards. And why is it important? It's important because in future we will be having integrated audits so that we can complete these assignments on time. So as an employee, one of the key requirements of this standard is hazard identification, which I want to bring to your attention. You know that this year's theme is act together to build a positive safety culture. So we can work well if we proactively identify the hazards using whichever system, whether it's near miss or Soca. So going forward, a new system is going to be unveiled on how we'll be able to identify some of these issues. Because one of the aim of these standards is prevention of injury and ill health. How can we prevent injuries and accidents from happening if we are not reporting them? So as an employee, you have a responsibility to report them. I was given 2 minutes. I've decided to use 1 minute. I hope that's in order. That's the end. Thank you so much.
So thank you all. I think you've now understood what World Safety Day means and the role you play. So I just want to appreciate each and every one of you. Maybe clap for yourselves.
Thank you. That does not merit. Iyo makofi haitoshi kilo. Si kusema tupige hivyo. Nilisema tu haitoshi, lakini si kusema tupige hivyo. Nataka tusugue hiyo makofi. We appreciate Carol. He has done a good job. Just one. Ready? Thank you. At this particular moment, I want to invite our safety officer, our Madam where we are going. Let's give her one. Ready?
Thank you, Mercy. So I'd like to appreciate you all for coming to this event. You know, you could have been anywhere else, but you chose to be here. Yeah, you left your work assignments and joined us in this great day where we are marking celebration of the World Day of Safety and Health. And so that we appreciate where we are coming from, I'll take 5 minutes or less to give you a snapshot of the history of health, safety, and environment in Kenya Pipeline. So to jog your memories, Kenya Pipeline was incorporated in the year 1978, all right, where we commenced operations without a safety section, without safety personnel. Okay, so we have Kenya Pipeline, pumping petroleum, no safety section, no safety personnel. Then in December of 1982, approximately 4 years later, tank 101 in PS10 caught fire due to failure of the high alarm system, which caused MSR, back then it was known as Motor Spirit Regular, to overfill, leading to a fire. Okay, so a fire happens, it's put out, of course, days later. I'm meant to understand, I was not born by then. Okay, so, and then what happens then post the fire? So insurance demands that Kenya Pipeline establishes a safety section, okay, and recruits fire officers. So this is what happened. So a safety section was established, fully fledged with fire officers, and it was put under operations department. And then in 2002, safety incorporated environment to become HSC, okay, health safety environment, and fire officers became HSC officers. So now they are just no longer fighting fires. We were charged with additional roles that incorporated safety, health, and environment. In 2007, Kenya Pipeline became ISO 9001 certified, which is what Agena was talking about. That is the quality management system. And then in 2014, SHEC department, now Safety, Health, Environment, Quality, was created, reporting directly to the MD. In 2015, we commenced implementation of health, safety, environment management systems, which is ISO 18001 and ISO 14001. Sorry, ISO 45001 and ISO 14001. In 2017, we did an assessment of our safety culture in KPC. And then we engaged a consultant who came and assessed us where we were, because remember, any good organization is as good as its culture, and in this case, the safety culture. So we were ranked at number 2 of a 5-step ladder, which meant that we were at a reactive stage out of a possible generative stage of safety culture. What that meant is that KPC was working very hard to implement systems or to react once accidents have happened, to correct problems once we have had an incident. And we were spending a lot of time investigating incidents and accidents. So we needed to move. And what that meant is that we needed to evaluate ourselves and see where are we and where do we want to go. So as I have mentioned, the reactive culture says we were spending a lot of time investigating incidents and spending a lot of money trying to recover from accidents. But going forward, and based on the theme of this year, which we are saying is to act together to build a positive health and safety culture, we want to move up that step. Remember, I said we did the culture assessment in 2017. This is 2022. I would like to believe that we are not reactive. And I would love to believe that if we were to call a consultant, or if we were even to look at ourselves, we would have moved up that step, probably to the 3rd step, which is calculative, meaning that we have systems that work. We are proactively trying to do job safety analysis. We train our staff. We evaluate ourselves. We conduct analysis of incident, and we take measures to make sure that they do not reoccur. Now, when we want to move up that ladder, we are saying we want to go to a place where we are training our staff that safety is not forced down our throats, that we take it as our own responsibility to heart, that our hearts and minds are intertwined when it comes to following the safety rules and procedures. It doesn't feel forced. That if we call you for a training, you come out of your own will, that we do not have to threaten you with a memo to attend a training. That is the culture where we want to go to. So as we celebrate this day, I want to urge each and every one of us to look at yourself and ask yourself, am I reactive, right? Or am I proactive? As we continue to engage. And thank you all for coming, and thank you for giving me your audience. I don't know how long I've taken, but I want to believe that you got the message. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Immaculate. Let's give her one clap. Ingine? Thank you. At this particular time, I want to talk to you who is in the office, who is watching us on this link. This link was meant for outstations. So I want to urge you that if you're in the office, kindly join us in the Tintin restaurant. This applies for Nairobi Terminal and head office staff. Kindly, we need you down here. Come and join us. At this particular time, ladies and gentlemen, I want to invite our acting senior safety officer from Nairobi Terminal, She Department, Mr. Dennis Asenga, to talk to us. As he comes, I want to acknowledge the presence of our GM Infrastructure, Bwana David Muriuki, tunakukaribisha sana. Thank you so much for coming, our operations manager, Bwana Wanyama, karibu sana. Thank you, Dennis.
Thank you very much. My name, as you've heard, is Dennis Azenga. Just before we continue, because I want to give us a brief, some statistics on near-miss reporting since 2018. Okay, by a show of hands, how many people have reported any near-miss since 2018? Since 2018, right? You can look around, eh? How many have reported a near-miss this year? Right? We should expect all hands to be up. Sinukweli? Yes, because I think according to our performance contract, which our manager will testify, is that every staff is supposed to report a near-miss. At least one near-miss a month, right? Yes, so, and the purpose of us being here is that we need to talk about near-misses. You can see can you see our advertisements and all that, our banners, near-miss reporting. I think also reporter hazard and all that. You know, reporting a near-miss and what now we call Soca, safety observations and corrective actions, is a way of staff participation. And once staff participate in safety, it improves our safety culture as an organization, and it also makes our workplaces safe, right? We want, I think as Carol mentioned, we want a situation where today you come, you break a finger, tomorrow you break a leg, the following day you burn your hair. If you live in your parents' house, they will not allow you to come on day 3, senior, because you keep on losing something every time you come to the workplace. We want you guys to come to the workplace and you go home safe. So every day you come and we deliver you safely outside the gate and you come back again. And that's the purpose of work, to be safe. Senior? So let me just give a brief. Near-miss, can I call it, let me call it in the past, near-miss reporting, which is going to become, which has become safety observations and corrective actions, was launched in KPC in late 2017. And from then we've been doing reporting. In 2018 and 2019, we reported 539 near misses or Socas. 539. So, how many are we in Kenya Pipeline? 1,500, 1,600. So you can see we had 539 reports. In 2019-2020 financial year, we had 214 near miss reported. In 2020-2021, we had 9 near misses reported. Probably COVID played a part because most staff were working from home, so maybe they were reporting near misses in the house, probably. So we only had 9. This financial year, we've had from July last year until now, March, April, we've had 742 near misses reported. So we are improving. But considering the number of staff that we have, 1,500, 1,600, and we have 742 reports, that means that every staff, if you have to do the mathematics, every staff is reporting 0.4 near misses per month. So we are reporting, we are not doing as well as we should. Again, I should also tell you that when you look at our statistics, you will notice that out of the 1,500 staff that we have, it is only this financial year, it is only 110 who have reported any near miss. That means that, for example, if it is Salvador reporting, he's reported 20, Lucy has reported 40, like that. It means like over 1,300 staff have not reported any near miss this financial year. Is that good? I think we'll go to it probably later as we move on. So we need to up our game. So in the classifications of near misses or Soca in this financial year, 9% of the reported cases are unsafe acts. An unsafe act is like probably somebody over speeding on our roads, acting in an unsafe manner. 89% of the near misses reported are unsafe conditions or an unsafe environment. You understand? I think we'll delve into that later with our manager. And then only 2% of the reported issues are actually near misses. So unsafe acts are 9%, unsafe conditions are 89% out of the 742, right? And then the unsafe, and then the near misses or a near hit are 2% of the reported cases. Further down in terms of classification, if we classify according to what is reported based on the departments, 7% of the reported cases are from ICT, 15% of the reported cases are from the administration department, 27% of the reported cases are from maintenance, that is electrical, mechanical, corrosion control, and all that. And then that is 27%. And then 6% are from operations, 28% are from projects. And most of these 28% is actually mostly civil-related issues, civil section-related issues. 3% are from security, 13% are from the safety, health, and environment department, and 1% is from supply chain. So you can look at the breakdown, right? So those are the issues that have been reported. And then, in the problem, right? So out of that, in KPC in this financial year, 57% of the reported near misses or Soca are actually closed out. So what percent is still open? 43, right? If we are to do approximate numbers, it's like 50% are closed, 50% are open. It is up to you to determine if that is good or not. We should also, as I said in the beginning, this near miss and Soca reporting is about participation, and we participate in reporting and we participate in closeout, right? So we have to make sure, because in this room I see we are all reporters and we are all people or staff who close out or who correct situations. So I would urge you as staff, we need to make sure that not only do we report, but we also close out the near misses that have been, or the Socas that have been reported. If, for example, there's a trip hazard in your office, you could be the person who is supposed to report and close at the same time. So it's very possible, yeah? Make sure you report it and you close it. Don't let issues to linger for so long. So, and that's the purpose we are here. So thank you very much.
Let us appreciate Dennis. Now, ladies and gentlemen, time for reality. I called that we pay attention to what our speakers were saying. So from this, I simply want to do an evaluation. Before you do my evaluation, I want to do yours. We have had several speakers here, and I think the song they've been singing is safety, safety. So I want randomly to pick somebody and answer this question. What is safety? Just random. What is safety? Okongo. You can shout from where you are. Thank you. Makofi moja kwake. Remember the theme for this year? Who can remember the theme? 3 speakers have talked. Our risk officer, senior risk, has talked. And we gave a theme for this year. What is our theme? Okay. Has a phone. So it's very important for us to get the theme for this year. Our theme, anyone who can remember, any sharp mind? Yes, I have a hand. Just shout. Makofi kwake. Act together to build a positive health and safety culture. Culture is how we do things, right? So we want to have that positive culture of doing things. Another question, what does safety mean to you as a person? I need a hand. What does safety mean to you as a person? Agina, you want to try? What does it mean? Just a simple answer. Don't even complicate it. What does it mean? Pastor, you want to say something? No? What does safety mean to you, Bwana Wanyama? My well-being. Thank you. Just a clap for him. Safety means everything to me. That's what you need to tell your neighbor, that safety means everything to me. Thank you. Because if you're safe, you're good. Another question which I want to ask, other than firefighting, what else do you know that she department does? They have explained, they have lined us up. Safety, health, environment department. What does it do? I need somebody to shout. What is the role of safety, health, environment department in our company? This one I want somebody to come because this one tutapeana gift. Because wamejieleza kabisa. Somebody who is not from health, safety and environment. Can I pick randomly? Usitetemeke roho nasikia saa hii napiga tu boom 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 boom. Anyone who can come and tell us, because they have explained here to us what they do. From the back? My sister, oh. Anyone? Munataka one of the people from health akuja atuambie na wamesema saizi. What do they do? I want to call on one intern because they joined the other day. One intern, one KPC staff. Loko, ulienda wapi? Loko alitoka. Loko yani kuja. Come and tell us what Sheikh department does. Kuja. Lokoyan is one of our senior officers in KPC. I want him to tell us.
Good morning. I think she has got me off guard, but one thing that we are required to learn from safety on a daily basis is to make sure we are working in a safe environment. They educate us, they report the incidences, and make sure that incident is not repeated again. Thank you very much.
Tumpigie makofi. He's quite attentive. I thought I'm going to get him off guard, but he has really carried the day. Let us name some near misses that we report on our portal. Scan around our environment. Any other thing you're realizing? A near miss? Remember we said we are creating awareness so that we can act together. There is tea on the floor. That is a near miss. At the back, I want everybody to scan our environment and identify a near miss which can actually cause a potential hazard to our health and safety. Any other from the back? Zimeisha, there were only 2. I've seen my brother is sitting half on a chair. Is that a near miss? Sabatia is looking at somebody and is the one who is sitting half on the chair. Falls are also near miss. That's what I want to imply. Falls are near miss. Anything else? We are in the era of COVID, isn't it? There are so many near misses we are observing. So let us continue observing them. I want also to ask, scan now the whole environment, not in teen restaurant. How many exit gates do we have? Because we need to know our environment in head office. Scan the environment in head office. By show of hand, how many exits do we have? Not from ART. I don't want to take an answer from ART. From the back? How many? Somebody shout. 3, 4, 5. This kwani zinaenda zikiongezeka, mkisema ingine inajiweka. Mukisema hii ingine inajiweka. They said 1, 2, 3. How many? Now everybody is shouting 4. Have you counted? There is no any other. Pardon? Where is the... Okay, first I want to know, by show of hands, who say we have 2 gates? By show of hands. 3? 4? By show of hands. People are not sure. Just haujui tuko na ngapi? How many do we have? She's still counting. That one, who is sure? How many? 3. We have 3, 4. Can I get a unified answer? How many? 4, 3, 2, 1, 4. Okay, let us count. We say this day we are creating awareness, isn't it? Where are they located? Let us start. 1. I'm just seeing people are just saying 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, 1. Okay. Let us start. Let's have order now. Okay, let us start. The common one, which everybody knows. Where is it? The main gate, isn't it? We are sure that is 1. The second one? The parking. People are doing like this. The parking. Just say behind Ken Pipe Circle, Plaza, parking. When you turn on your right, we need to give direction so that if anyone is visiting KPC, can be able to tell where that gate is. Now, we are sure of 2. Let's get the third one. Where is the third one? Please, somebody come out. Where is the other one? Hapa nyuma. Hapa nyuma ni wapi? Thank you. Clap for him. Just one. He has mentioned a very critical point behind our assembly point. When you're giving direction in health and safety, you need to be very specific. Behind our fire assembly point. Where is our fire assembly point? Thank you. So those are 3 gates. We are sure now everybody knows where those 3 are. The last and the 4th one, because we said there were 4. We said there are 4. Okay. Another one? There are the parking. Behind the parking. In front of the parking. Oh my goodness. Okay, a person who is sure, where is the 4th one? We are quiet. Pin drop. Okay, please, where is the 4th one? Behind the Tintin restaurant. Where is the Tintin restaurant? We are here in Tintin restaurant. Where is the behind Tintin restaurant? Okay, if you want to give direction, this is Kenpai Plaza. We have Equity, and then we have the gate on the right, which exits towards the Nairobi terminal. Now we have the gate in front of the Kenpai Plaza, which exits to the railway line. We need to have distinct features which can actually make somebody to think and realize it. So kwa hiyo yote, how many gates do we have? Immaculate was saying there are more. Immaculate, where is another one? We need to know, because we are scanning our environment. ERT leader, I think we have more. No, I was so specific. I was said scan Nairobi head office. Kenpai Plaza. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Let's clap for her. She has scanned the whole environment where we are, and she's making a very valid point. that in case there is fire, we cannot exit through the 4 gates to the out of our environment. When I said out of our environment, see the premises of Kenya Pipeline. Then I want us to jump over to PS10. I want us to jump over to PS10. How many exits do we have in PS10? I'm sure that one is going to knock people of head office out because we have never scanned our environment. How many do we have? Let us count. Don't worry. Juma naona una count, unaonyesha 5. Count 2, utaniambia. You will tell me. 5. Okay, we have 5 from our ERT team. Barak, how many gates do we have at PS10? She has no idea. Today you are going to know. How many do we have? 3 in PS10. I want us to know our environment. So let us scan PS10. Where is our first gate? Main gate, correct. Hiyo tumepata. The second gate? Next to the clinic. Those are very good direction, next to the clinic. Okay. There are 2. Okay. Well directed, Madam Gurani. At the clinic, we have 2 gates. So that gives us how many? 3. Okay, we want to get the 4th one. Where is the 4th one? Please, somebody come up. The 4th one. Pardon? The area of the junkyard. How many know that area? The vehicle cage. They are still giving directions. Okay, area of the junkyard, the vehicle gauge. Do we know our new interns? Our new interns, I want to draw your attention. This session is very important because I want you to know your environment. In case of an emergency where you can exit, and if you are called upon, you can run and rescue somebody from there. So they have mentioned that we have 4 gates. Our ERT said we have 5 gates. So far we have 4 gates. Our main gate at the PS10. We said 2 gates at the clinic. We said 1 gate at the junkyard. So we are looking for another one. The junkyard is straight. When you come from the main entrance of PS10 and you go along, before you make your turn to go towards the motor vehicle, we have vehicles parked there. That is where the junkyard is. I'm explaining because of our new interns. Where is the 5th? The 5th gate? In the tank farm. Did you know that we have a gate at the tank farm? You knew it? No, you are knowing it today. So those who didn't know about our exits, we have 5 at the Nairobi terminal and we have 4. Those gives us how many exits? Simujipigie makofi, sasa leo mmesoma. Now, I want to ask a question from our previous members who talked here. When did the health, safety, health, environment department formed? Na hiyo munipatia, mimi hapo lazima msangi mtu aende na 500. Msangi wewe ndio una mark, wewe ndio uko na mwa Kenya, mimi sina. Okay, let us start. Because nimesikia 1994, 1992. Margaret alisema 92 hakuwa amezaliwa. She was not yet born. She was, so you asked. And she said I was not yet born. Exactly, when there was that fire. Alisema 82. Hakuwa amezaliwa. Mimi nilisikia 92 nikasema 92, okay. Okay, putting that aside. She gave us chronology of what happened and when. Kwanza alisema pipeline ilifomiwa lini? Mjipigie kofi moja. Aya, Akasema moto ilifanyika lini? Immaculate walikusikiza 82. And then from there nini ingine ilifanyika? Moto ilifanyika. Insurance wakasema nini? Ati hawakuwa na safety. So in short, the insurance demanded. What does your life demand on safety? Sawa. Hiyo utajijibu. Because as we learn about our organization, I want us also to learn about ourselves, isn't it? And she also said that they have gone in a very big transition. Swali sasa narudi. Unajua, I'm thinking you are counting. Now I go back to my question. Na hiyo mtu anaenda na 500. Immaculate na mwa Kenya peke yake. When was the Safety, Health and Environment Department formed? Esther. 2014. Amepata? Safety and health. Safety, health and environment. Not shake. Remember we had shake, isn't it? And then from shake we went to chi. Ilifomiwa lini? Huyo ameanguka aendi na 500. Yes. You may shout your name. 2003. Mwakenya amepata? Very close. Ama hajapata? Haendi na pesa. I have a hand there. So just shout your name. Joy. 2002. Amepata? Hajapata. Amesema hajapata. Amepata? 2002. She department. Come Immaculate. Immaculate kuja. Hapa naona mwa Kenya unataka kuniuza, kuja. Hii history lazima Immaculate atuambie. Si kusikia hata mimi.
We can do a recap. Yes, please. Remember we said there was a fire in 1982. Then after the fire, it was demanded that we have a safety department or section. So the department was formed. Safety section, not even a department. Safety section reporting to operations, right after the fire. Then in 2002, environment was incorporated into safety and health. So your question was, when was the safety, health, environment formed? So it's 2002. So what did you ask?
She department. She.
But HSC is she.
No. HSC.
Oh, you want she?
She. I said she. So you want she.
That was not in my notes. But I know.
No. It is in your notes because
Yeah.
of health safety. Yeah.
So, but the problem is you said without the Q. Yes. Isn't it? She without the Q. That came to be, yes, that came to be, if my memory serves me right, during when we had the acting MD Hudson and Dambi. So that is it? 2019, 2018.
2019. Yeah, true. 2019 is when the she, not HSE, she. Now, I think we have learned something, isn't it? Have you learned something about our environment and everything else? We want to carry on with our program. This particular time, I want to invite our acting safety, health and environment manager, Engineer Lucy Kariuki, to come and give us some words of wisdom. Karibu sana, Engineer. Tumpigie makofi.
Thank you, Mercy. I know even Mercy and Immaculate confused themselves. So there was no safety, then They became safety section. Then there was HSC section. Then there was check. Then she. And now we are she. Those three words are interchangeable. Health, safety, and environment. In some other different industries, we'll call it differently because of their what is most important amongst the three dockets. There is health, there is safety, there is environment. So in some industries, you will find EHS, because environment is very key to them. In some industries, you'll find HSC, because health becomes key to them. In some industries, you will find SHE, safety, health, and environment. So that is why we moved from health and safety to health, safety, and environment to safety, health, environment, meaning that what is key to us? Safety is very, very key. Thank you very much. We want to welcome each one of us. Ambia mwingine karibu sana. Umesoma kitu? I had an opportunity. I know Immaculate was not born. Some of us were maybe very young. Now we can calculate your years, Immaculate. But I had an opportunity to see it or to have someone who was there in 1982. It was an old man. He rose up until he became the engineering manager. And I had an opportunity to hear from the horse's mouth about that fire. Tank 101 caught fire. How did it catch fire? The tank was where not these new tanks are, the old tanks were. Where the new tanks are, the three or four tanks, was another industry that was there. And Immaculate said there was high alarm that did not work. So what does that mean? When the tank is filling, the person at the control room cannot see. Si hayuko hapo? Anadepend na nini? Na high alarm. So what is he supposed to do? When it gets to some point in the tank, an alarm shows, a high alarm, telling the person at the control room that tank is about to fill. So he lines up, if either you switch off the line or you line another tank to divert the fuel to another tank. But if he doesn't see, there is the high alarm switch. Not only an alarm. It is both an alarm and a switch. What does that switch do? That switch shuts off the entry to that tank, the valve. It automatically closes the tank inlet so that there's no overfill. So that time, it didn't work. So either the controller didn't see, either the systems didn't work, and the product started overflowing. And it went down. And of course, when there's a product overfill, the environment starts getting what? The fumes, and the fumes, and the fumes, and the fumes. The neighbor had a watchman. And since it was at night, I do not know whether this generation knows something that can put tin and you're able to put some fire inside. In our language, we used to call it what? Becky? In your language, what do you used to call it? So there was this watchman just warming himself. And what happens? And this watchman's fire did what? Ignited the environment. And you see, if the tank is somewhere there, and all this environment has fumes, then the fire goes to. they called Tier 2. They brought in all the other equipment around Kenya Pipeline. It didn't, because they could see the frames from wherever you are and all the alcohol that was in his body disappeared. So we wouldn't want to get to there. That is why we are here today. And we are saying that for us to remain safe, safety begins with who? With me. So if you're in an office and there is a safety hazard there, who is the first person? November to now, how many months? Okay, let me first ask, how many marks did you give that target? How many marks? In your performance contracting, you said near miss reporting once per month. How many marks? 1%. Others 5. So it means if you have not reported a near miss every month, can you get good in your performance contracting? From very good, good, excellent. When you don't get 100, what can you get in your performance appraisal? Even if you had given near miss reporting 1 mark, so it can mean the maximum you can get is what? That is the effect of you not telling us that you have an unsafe environment. You can only not get very good, because very good is 100%. So if you have not reported, tell your neighbor, if you have not reported, and if you are there, the maximum you can get in your performance appraisal is good. And if you are an appraiser here, if you are a supervisor, if that employee did not report 1 near miss in November, December, January, February, and March, you cannot get very good. And I will liaise with our GM, HR, to evaluate. Tutapeana list hivi. Tuko na hiyo list. Dennis alisema ni wangapi wamereport? Out of 1,700, we only have, I think, 235. 210, 110 only who have reported. And therefore, 1,500 plus cannot get good in their performance contracting. That is the implication. So let's go. We have been reporting near miss. And what is near miss? Something that is just about to happen, but it happened or it didn't cause harm or it didn't cause any damage. Let us get to the categories, the different categories of terms. Number 1, we have an incident. And an incident is an occurrence that has happened at the course of the work, or either causes an injury or an ill health, or it didn't cause. That is an incident. And therefore we are saying, if it didn't happen, then we call it something different. So we have an incident is an occurrence arising out of, all in the course of your work, but it did not cause any injury or ill health. It happened, but it didn't cause. Sawa sawa. And that is where we will say that something has happened, but it didn't cause. If it causes any injury, ill health, or damage, it is graduated to become what? To become what? So if you're driving and you just slip off the road, but you manage to come back to the road, that is a what? But if you go and hit a bolland or a stone, and your car or the whatever happens, and there was some either damage to your car or one of the person that was there was hit, what does that become? An accident. Then we have a category we call near miss. This is an incident where no injury or ill health occurred, but had a potential to do so. And therefore, It may be referred either as a near hit or a near miss or a near call. I was just about there. And I'll give you an example. Mercy is cleaning here, and I am passing by, and I just sleep. Just there. Is that a near miss? Is it an incident? Is it an accident? Eh? A near miss. I was just about to. But if I fell and I didn't injure myself, it becomes what? An incident. But if I fell and broke my hand, it becomes an accident. So let me then ask, I am passing by wet floor. Why did I fall? What is the reason I fell? Why did Lucy fall when Mercy was cleaning and there was wet floor? Why? No warning. The condition? Ati? Carelessness. The wrong shoes. Exactly. And that is why we say, before you say why, because not everyone who walked there fell. Sindio? So there must have been other compounded conditions. But let's see the next. So we go to, after now the near miss, we have an unsafe act. Tumetoka kwa near miss, sasa ni unsafe act. It's a performance of a task in a manner that may threaten the health or safety of yourself or also the safety of others. An unsafe what? Act. Then there is an unsafe condition. It's a state or a circumstance or an environment or a situation or a setting that is likely to cause injury or damage. So let's get back to my falling. What was there? Why did I fall? There was wet floor. So how can you categorize wet floor? Unsafe? I had also high-heeled shoes. Kang. What do you call? What is that? An unsafe? Thank you. So you have understood. So things can happen because of unsafe conditions, an unsafe act, an unsafe walking style, anything that can be. So suppose we had reported that unsafe act by just Mercy telling me this is a wet floor, or had gone and said someone keeps sweeping and leaving water just pouring, or maybe the roof was leaking and it is dropping some water. If someone reported that and that condition was changed, could there have been a fall? So we will have prevented a fall by removing the unsafe condition. And that is why me and you have to participate. So let's do a little exercise. You have 1, 2, 3. So what is number 1? What is number 1? It can be an accident. What else? Suppose that person is not hurt. Zile tatu, kuna near miss, unsafe act, unsafe condition, and an accident. What is that? If someone, suppose that person was not hit. It's a near miss. Maybe he's just managed to. Let's go to the second one. The first one was hit. So it was an accident. So let's go to the second one. A near miss. It's just about to hit him. And the last one? Unsafe? It is an unsafe condition. Sawa sawa. Let's go to the other one. These are 4 now. The first one. The first one. Can we all see? The first one is what? An unsafe? Where is the act? Wacha tuende mutarudia tena. The second one? the third one? And the fourth? Let's get to the first one. The first one? Is it an act or a condition? Is it an act or a condition? So it's an unsafe? The second one? What is the act? So suppose you are the one passing and you see that. What is supposed to be reported? Ni wewe uko hapo, sasa wewe ni either supervisor ama unapitia hapo hivyo, utareport nini? Among the four? Which is supposed to be reported? One and two. Suppose someone reported one and that thing was lowered. Could the second have happened? Could the third have happened? Could the fourth have happened? Thank you. So that is why me and you have to participate to make our environment. So Lucy is in the office. Who is in the stores here? And then we have Henry Mwangi in the stores. Can Lucy see that condition? So if someone doesn't report, can something be done? But suppose Henry reported. The forklift will have been brought down. So that is why you have to report. You do not have to expect someone, the supervisor or the HSC or the fire marshals to come and see that condition. You have to help us and help each other, help management, help HSC to make our work environment safe. So if you don't report, who passes there? Who has the probability of passing there? Me or you? And so who has the probability of being hit? Thank you. So let's get to the next one. This is a safety triangle. Before a fatality happens, one fatality, there will be some presentation of a lot of unsafe acts and unsafe conditions. And I want to come here, and I know we have a lot of new staff, interns, every one of us. Someone is walking down the stairs. He receives a text message and starts reading the text message as you walk down the stairs. Is that an unsafe act, unsafe condition, a near miss? An unsafe act. So we are contributors of what? Unsafe acts. So before a fatality happens, there will be so many unsafe conditions. And that is where as KPC, and there will be so many near misses. Someone amesleep hivi, hakuanguka, akakumbuka, akaweka simu kwa mfuko, anaendelea. Then tunaenda, ama wengine alianguka, akasplain kidogo, akaenda kwa first aid box, akapigwa spray, ile ya deep heat, akaenda. On other cases, there will be severe injuries. Mkono imevunjika, mguu imevunjika, and all that. And finally, you can have fatality. And before a fatality happens, there have been so many unsafe act, unsafe condition, near misses until a fatality happens. I think the ratio is 1 to 1,000. Before something becomes a fatality, there will be 1,000 unsafe conditions, unsafe act, near misses that will have been, something would have been done before if they were reported timely, and something would have been done. So it is up to us to be able to report the down and make it slimmer so that the possibility of a near miss going to a minor injury, a major injury, and a fatality is reduced. So let's get to the next. In our reporting, as Dennis said, we have had a reporting system, and that is why we are insisting. There is no way you will stay in a company, in a work environment for a whole month and you do not cite a near miss, an unsafe act, or an unsafe condition. No way. I know many people have been asking how. What do we report? I would rather it is reported by 5 people. I remember just outside here, there was this flower that had badged like this. Who can remember that flower? A long one that had gone, that had carved, and had gone to where? To the pathway. How many people are hit by that flower? How many people reported? And reported, ama photo tu kaka nayo kwa simu. Mulichukua photo, mukaka nayo kwa? Engine unataka kugongwa, unaifanya hivi, unapita tu. Si munaona? So if you had nothing to report, every HQ person who parks outside and passes through that, I would have expected 100 or 200 reported near misses on that. And I decided not to report it immediately. And until it was reported by someone, we escalated it to admin, and it was? Is it there or not there? Ama hata hamuonangi? So nimeanza kuambia what to report. Outside your HQ, there is a mat. Wenye wako na kang. Ni wangapi viatu zao zimeingia hapo kwa hiyo mat? Mume report. So the next thing, si kiatu itaingia na mtu? So who is the cause of that? Who has contributed? Na hamuna kitu ya kureport. You'd rather get a good in your performance appraisal, but not report. So those are the things we are telling you. Let's report unsafe act and unsafe condition. So we did an analysis of all that what was reported, just to see where are we. Are they unsafe act? Are they all that? But remember our reporting, we had called it near miss. So some people, when they see something, a broken tire, hakuna tile, hakuna mtu ameanguka, hakuna mtu amesleep, siyo hakuna near miss. That is the reason why we are changing for those who are there to be able to incorporate in our program of reporting, to incorporate unsafe conditions, unsafe acts, and near misses. Are we together up to there? So in our analysis, all the reported cases, 94% were unsafe. Unsafe what? So basically what we need to work on is the unsafe conditions. Then we had about 3.7%. This changed, it changes every time because anytime we analyze online. And therefore, maybe what Dennis read this morning is different from what is there. But about 3.7 was unsafe act. People doing there. It means, it shows me that people knows safety. However, our conditions are unsafe, and therefore, that is how we get our accidents. Then we have 1.3% were near misses. So we asked ourselves, when we call this reporting near miss reporting, are we doing it justice? It's only 1% that is near miss. So when we call the whole reporting system near-miss reporting, have we done justice to that program? No. So we had a lot of discussions among us stakeholders, and one, we found that there is a lot of, if we could just go back to that, there was a lot of things that were not reported because someone would think, is this a near-miss or not? It's not a near-miss, so just let me leave it. So there were declining numbers reporting, yet still our conditions are safe. And therefore, we came up with a system that will enable you and me to report both an unsafe act. So ukue macho, because wakati unaenda ukitext, kuna mtu atafanya nini? Ataku report. Si tumesema mpaka texting along the corridors, when you're walking you're still texting, when you're coming down the stairs you're reading your messages, when you're walking outside outside the walk path, it is still an unsafe what? Act. And therefore, your brother and your sister, you're our brother's keeper. And you are allowed to take a photo of that person who is texting while walking, upload it, and report it. Because ours is to ensure that our culture, safety culture, is inculcated into our day-to-day, into our day-to-day working. So we came up with a system. The system, the changes, and the system overview is a system whereby you will log in, you see something, you log in, either on phone or you have go through the link and take a photo, and right there you report it. And when you report it, that is the first step. You can do it when you're on your way, when you're seated, when you're standing somewhere. It helps you, it is robust enough because you can be able to download the app in your phone, and you're able to immediately report either an unsafe condition, an unsafe act, or a near-miss. Then from there, you log in, and then an automatic email is generated that goes to a HSC administrator. So we'll have different administrators in different stations. So you will go, it comes to, and we'll assign HSC administrators. They'll be able to log in every day, many times per day, and see what has been reported. And you'll be prompted that something has been reported by someone somewhere. So the HSC will look at that, what has been reported, will be able to classify it whether it's an unsafe act, an unsafe condition, or a near miss, or an accident. Then from there, they will be able to assign that to the respective manager. So if it is an admin manager that needs to act on it, or it's a safety manager who wants to work on it, or it is the engineering manager, then that task is assigned by the HSC administrator. So then it probes the manager, respective manager, that there has been something reported, and it's around your area of work. He's able to log in, look at what needs to be done. If it is needs to tell us when he expects to close out on that incident, and assign a staff something to be done. He assigns, so if it is the manager, he can assign either a technician or an officer to work on that. Then an email is sent to that officer, and he said there is something that you need to close out on a near miss or an unsafe act. Then the officer opens and does whatever he does, and immediately starts logging in on what he has done. It doesn't necessarily have to have the end of it. If he needs to purchase things, he will say that. If he needs to operate something safely, if it is in operations, they have either isolated it, they will say what they have done. and they will keep writing and updating what they have done until that incident is closed out. We are happy to report 57% of incidences that have been reported have been closed out. But the thing that will come up with this system is that after the staff closes out, an automatic email is generated to all the chain. First to the manager to say that I have worked. Second to the HSC administrator to say that that incident has been closed. And thirdly to the person who raised that issue to tell you that that incident has been closed. And you can revisit that area. A HSC officer will revisit that area and check whether it has been closed comprehensively, and then he will come and accept that the closure is satisfactory, and if there is anything additional that needs to be done, he writes that and it goes back until it is really closed. From there, we will have a dashboard of how many staff have been assigned jobs that they haven't completed, how many managers have been assigned incidences they are still open, how many have closed, and what was the percentage rate per department, per section, per staff. If you have been assigned 3 and you have closed 1, under your name there will be a 30% closure. And this way, it will help us do feedback, and it will also help all our staff be able to communicate. And in that, we will have come up together, worked together, and be able to have a safe environment. So for us, we are renaming today, and I know the representative of the MD, or if the MD and the board will have come, they're in a meeting somewhere. So we will have an opportunity to be able to launch a system we are calling Soca. Hiyo tunaweza sahau? Soca. Kila siku kuna nini? Man U, Arsenal. Sai ni gani iko chini sana? I don't follow. Arsenal hoe? Liverpool? Man U? Ni gani nimeacha? Chelsea? Man City? Liverpool? Harambee Stars? Gor Mahia? Tumesikia ndio hiyo. So it is a very easy name to remember. We have called it Soca. And Soca means safety, observation, and corrective actions. Turudie hiyo kweli, ambia mtu hivyo. So soka si ile ya nini? Lakini mnajua kuna football na kuna soka. Wenyeji wanajua tofauti ni gani. Kuna football na ndio soka. American inakuanga nini? Na Europe. So is American soccer and Europe football the same? Aya, hiyo ni homework. Hata mimi sijui. So kama mna expect mimi niwaambie hata mimi sijui. But we will take soccer. Why soccer is because we said that in our near miss program, we are limiting ourselves to near miss. So we want to open it up so that you are able to report an unsafe condition, an unsafe act, you can report a near miss. Sawa sawa? So tutaendelea sasa kureport. Promise me nitaona a rise in April. April na munaenda kesho. Muta report leo? Leo? Tumeanza? Tuko kwa simu? Tuna report? So promise me that you will report 1 at least. Afa iripotiwe na watu 20. The system is able to group all that and see, because this system is very intelligent. It even reports where the incident is. So if I report if our GM reports, if Agina reports, if Esther reports, the same thing. It is intelligent to learn that you are reporting the same thing, and it's able to group it. So why do we do it? We will have an existence of a dashboard, and different people will see dashboards. Ukitaka kufungua dashboard kuona uko wapi, umefika wapi wewe mwenyewe, utaona. Then there will be monitoring of pending issues. We are able to write and to generate reports. We are able to track issues. Tumefika wapi, tuko wapi. Then it's automated. You can do it from anywhere. So we have enough benefits for Soca. We have renamed it to include many more, and we have made it easier and friendly by automating the system. So it will be friendly to you, the reporter, friendly to you, the action party, friendly to you, the manager, because you're able to look at your department and how you're doing, friendly to you as the head of the head of this company, the MD, friendly to the board, because each level will have access to the dashboard differently to be able to manage, and more so friendly to the administrators, because they are able to report correctly, accurately, and availability of data in the system. So we want to appreciate what has gone through that, and we hope, si mumeni promise, watu wale wako kwa ofisi, watu wale wako kwa other depots. I know all depots are online. I have seen photos, I have been sent photos of many depots that are listening to us, that are following. Kindly let us use this system to improve your environment first, our environment, KPC environment, and our region environment at large. Thank you very much. We will take questions if there is any. May God bless you. Thank you.
Engineer, naomba usiende tafadhali, kwa sababu kuna maswali na singependa kukuita tena. Anyone with a question from that presentation? We want to take questions before we move to our next session. Any burning question? Okay.
Any incident you see that has a potential to cause harm, report it in our neighborhood. Why? It's because we have committees, we have interaction with our neighbors. I am able to call. Like an example I'll give, one evening we were called and we were told there is an LPG truck at Hashi. Hashi, you know where it is? Okay, it's now Oilcom, like 500 meters away from us. An LPG what? Truck that has, it's just about to overturn, imeshikiliwa na kitu. Would you be concerned as KPC? An LPG truck. We stayed here, we mobilized ERT, and stayed ready until that incident was cleared at night, because it has a potential for causing harm to us and to our neighborhood. So yes, you can report anything around us. We might be not able to do it immediately, but we have links and we have interaction with our neighbors that we are able to report and something is done. Na mimi nawauliza, what do you call that? Eh? Let her repeat the question, not to engineer, but to all of us. Na mpaka wenye wako huko, najua kuna stations zingine zina shida za maji. Wacha arudie.
My question is, I hope I'm clear this time. There are times in this building there is no water. Okay? That means people are not washing their hands when they visit the toilets, and they are not flushing the toilets. So my question is, what do we call that?
What do you call that? Eh? It is an unsafe condition, and it should be reported. Okay? Go to the toilets, there are no waters. Please report it. This time, this area, there was no. How else will we justify if the issue is the borehole that we need? How else will civil and admin justify that we need a borehole in that area? It's because of the many reported cases. So that is an unsafe condition.
To start reporting the incidents as per now and today. Which platform are we going to use? Is it live yet or the old one?
The launch is happening in the next few minutes, and the live will start. So we will be guided. But unajua si mimi nina launch, si kuna mtu atakuja ku-launch. So wacha tu tuseme, tuki-launch, we will advise us, but yes, we will be launching that system today. And we have our ICT team, they can confirm it will go live after the launch. Thank you.
My observation is this. I think security and safety, health, environment, departments or sections, if I may say, sometimes contradict. Because, like in a MIOG building, if something happens, we have to use, since that place was occupied, we have to use the main door. The behind door, which is supposed to be exit, is normally locked, and they say it's because of security reasons. Why can't what is being applied all over, like putting the seal after people leave for home or during weekends, be done like the way it's done in every other KPC facility? So I feel they are contradicting. I think they are contradicting one another, because right now we have to use just one door. It's ever permanently closed. Engineer Zenga can testify to this.
I know I can see Dennis not able to, but we will give how it is supposed to be. I think that's a specific case. We will look at it immediately after we come out of here. We hope that all doors, exit doors, are supposed to be locked in a way that you cannot access from outside, but when you're inside, you're able to push it and it opens. All access doors. And it's up to you to check around you. Is your door, exit door blocked? Has someone put a mop outside your exit door? Is it locked permanently? Because it means life and death to you. Because if that is where you are supposed to exit when there's an incident, you have seen it. Thank you very much for reporting that. You have been seeing it and you have been doing nothing. Staircases. I know there are some tendencies. Maybe kitambo si sahi. Admin, after cleaning, they put mops and buckets outside the emergency door. So when you open, you will find what? A bucket. So let us know our surrounding and report anything that you think can cause harm during emergencies or during normal working condition. So thank you. So Dennis or someone wants to say something about the door or to ask a question? Okay.
My question is, like, it
it has been an observation for us guys in maintenance, as we are accepting the culture that women are coming into maintenance. So my observation has been like we don't have clear changing rooms. So like for us it is the meaning like we have to change with men in our office because we only change in the washrooms. So I feel like we are not having a safe working condition.
Thank you. That's noted. We have a team here of administration, the health and safety, the infrastructure. We will look at that. So thank you. So we'll want to stop it at there. Thank you very much for your feedback, and thank you for promising me that together we will improve on reporting what? Using which platform? Thank you very much.
Tumpigie makofi. I know the safety talk can go on and on because I know you are very, very, very what, Agina? Concerned with your own safety. So as I'm concerned with my own safety, I want to welcome you again, Engineer Lucy, to invite our representative of the MD this afternoon. Thank you, Karibu-san.
Thank you. You know that I had mentioned earlier there's a meeting going on, and we have learned that the meeting is still on, and therefore we would want to welcome our General Manager Infrastructure, Engineer David Morioki, to come and represent the MD. Thank you. Let's welcome him. Hiyo haijatosha mpaka akuja ashike na aende. Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer Lucy. Wana KPC mpo? How is your afternoon? Watu wa diaspora, how are you doing? Okay, nimewasikia kwa mitambo. My assignment here this morning is very easy. To start with, I know there are new people among us, because I think most of you, I know them, and most people know me. My name is Engineer Morioki. I'm the General Manager in charge of infrastructure. I've been around for a while, and I think we have interacted with most of you. Like I said, my assignment here is very easy. It's to represent the MD and to read his official speech. But before I do that, because after I do that, I can't do anything else, just to do an observation. How many of you are in Kenya in the last 3 weeks? Yeah, within our boundaries. Okay, I see a number of them were outside. Okay. For those who are not in Kenya, let me tell you what was happening here. For a long time, as far as I can remember, you could drive to a fueling station and find no fuel. I don't know what was happening where you are. I think the gentleman in white, I saw your head was down. Okay. Thank you. Now, I'm sure you experienced that situation. Yeah? And we know what was happening. I don't know, engineer, whether that's a near miss. And you know the implication of not having fuel. I know for Daktari there, you have a patient, you cannot take them to the next assessment or the next destination because you have no fuel. Yeah? You are not able to come to work. You're not able to do many things. Now I want to take you one step further. Who is the custodian or storage of fuel in Kenya? Kenya Pipeline, right? Okay. But we are aware that we had fuel in our tanks. Let's for a moment imagine that something had happened and you are not able to supply fuel. It was not the other logistics issues as we know them. Yeah? Let's for a minute imagine that it was us who are the cause. We could not supply fuel. Let us move one step further. Let us imagine that scenario was as a result of an incident that had happened here within KPC. Okay? Let us move one step down. Let us imagine that incident was as a result of an unsafe condition that was existing, and we were all seeing it, It has been reported, I think out of 1,700, only 100 and something that have reported. Let's say that instance was not reported because, you know, of the laxity we have in reporting. Okay? Let's look at it differently. Let's assume that incident was as a result of an unsafe act by one of us. Now imagine that person was you. How would you tell this story to your grandchildren? That at one moment in the year 2020, I did an act that was unsafe, that resulted to the whole country not having fuel and the region, and thereby cost the economy of the region billions of dollars or shillings. Can you see how such a simple act can have big ramifications? I want you to think about it that way. Then number two, many years ago, I think before someone was born, and I was in maintenance, a junior engineer, and one of the responsibilities I had been given was to be in charge of, not interns, what's the other name? Attaches. And I remember in my opening meetings, I don't know where I got this from. I think I must have got it from safety. You know, like telling them when you're going to the tank farm, that when you come into the morning, when you say your goodbyes in the morning, just say them like the last one, because you're not assured that you'll come out of this place alive. It all depends on your action. So what I'm saying is that I think what has been presented, that small action that you might ignore, that small instance that you don't report, it could be very small to you, but the ramifications might be very big. They could live with us for the rest of our life. All right? So now, I will read the MD's message for us today. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the executive management, I want to start by thanking everyone for making time to join us to mark the World Day on Safety and Health at Work. This event is marked globally every year. The purpose of this event is intended to promoting workplace safety, as well as prevention of occupational accidents and diseases within the work environment. This in turn helps us cultivate a healthy workforce for our company. The theme of this World Day for Safety and Health at Work focuses on enhancing participation and social dialogue towards a culture of safety and health. Ladies and gentlemen, as a midstream organization in the oil and gas industry, handling highly flammable products, safety is a critical part of operations. It is necessary to ensure all activities in the organization have been analyzed and mitigations implemented to minimize the potential of any incidents occurring. Though the obvious hazard that is associated with a company handling oil products is fire, there are many other areas that KPC has continuously worked on in order to ensure the KPC personnel, contractors, visitors, affiliates, and general public are kept safe from harm as the company fulfills the
Soca program officially launched.
So, ladies and gentlemen, the moment we have been waiting for is here. And on behalf of the MD, I want to pronounce that the safety observations and corrective actions Soca platform is officially launched.
Thank you. For those who wanted to be there. Niwaulize swali, kuna mtu ameriport, wewe hujariport ama umeriport moja? Kuna mtu ameriport 40 near misses. 40. 1, 2, 3, 10, 20, 30, 40. Kuna wengine wamereport the minimum should have been how many? 4. So we looked at anyone who have reported more than 4. And 4 is what? 5. So if you have reported 4, sini bare minimum. So we went ahead to look at our whole reporting template, and anyone, we had 4 categories. We had a category of best reporter, top management. That is the managers and the GMs and the MD, that top management. We got one of us, I think he had called earlier and said he's not going to be there. And we will be able to report him. We appreciate him, Manager Paul Njuguna. We also got best reporters who are in the terminal management. That is the DMs, the terminal managers, the station controllers. We got 2 top reporters. And I think the representative of the MD will be able to mention their names. We also have a category of, we have a health and safety department that has about 50 staff, and we have been reporting, and therefore we decided to encourage them also to report many more. We looked at, in that category of health and safety, who are the top 2 who reported the most. We will also have their names. From there, we had the 4th category of best reporters from the staff, and we looked at people from all the stations who have reported more than bare minimum of 4 near misses. Because if we started this program and signed your contract in November, so we expected you have reported one in December, January, February, and March. If you have gone ahead and reported more than the bare minimum 4, then we have a token of appreciation for you. You have a letter of commendation from the MD, and you have some goodies from our department, corporate communication, and marketing. We have some goodies for you. So the names will be read, and we request the depot management, wherever you are, when your teams are mentioned here by the representative of the MD, then you will be able to appreciate them in your boardrooms, and their goodies will be sent so that they are able to celebrate what they have done in regards to reporting near misses. And not only reporting, we have said it is not reporting near misses, but it's ensuring a safe environment around you and calculating a positive safety culture. So, Engineer Morioke, I would I will call in the names of the team that is here first, and then the other names will be mentioned so that the depot management, wherever they are able to recognize. I know that most of you are in your boardrooms and listening and following us, so kindly join us in celebrating the top reporters of the near miss. And someone has promised, he's not in this list, but in the next, he will be here. But remember, like Makoha, when the pass mark goes high, what happens? The cut point goes what? So next cut point haitakuwa 5, because if all of us have reported 5, so we have to go what? Higher. So let's start. So karibu sana, you can first read the names, and for those who are here, can stand and will be able to tell them. Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer. Before I read the names, I want to report to you that I've already reported a near miss on this platform that I had photographed this morning. All right. Okay. From the top management, we have Paul Jogona, who is in projects department with 4 near misses. Then in terminal management, we have 2 people. We have Fred Ogano, I believe he's the terminal manager in PS28 with 32 near misses. Makofi. Fred Ogano has reported 32 near misses. Fred Ogano, wherever you are, makupigia makofi. And then we have Eliud Chege with 28 near misses. Eliud, hongera sana. Then from Chi department, the owners of the platform and the ones who are always, this is their everyday business. Isaac Buffy, my friend from Mombasa, 40. Hiyo makofi haitoshi, 40 near misses. Thank you. And then we have George Onyina, mzee wa kazi, 23 near misses. Then from PS14 with 15 near misses, we have Daniel Abongo. From PS27, we have Penina Kinoti with 14 near misses. Then from just here, hapa too, we have Thomas Sababadi with 11 near misses. We have Solomon Juma with 9 near misses. We have Rachel Muse with 9 near misses. And then from further down, PS1, we have Onesimus Mwasingo Ogera with 9 near misses also. And then from this building where we are at, we have Jane Tuitoek, 6 near misses. We have 6 near misses from David Cheriot in PS1. We have 6 near misses from Rasire Mwazime in PS12. Then from head office, we have Marianne Kiru, Crispas Sabatia, Catherine Wajihia, and Rosemary Luthuli, each with 5 near misses. Congratulations. And then we have from PS5, we have Marietta Wajoba, and from PS4 we have, from PS14 is Marietta Wajoba with 5 near misses. Henry Makori from PS4 with 4 near misses, with 5 near misses. Sorry. So those are our stars for today, and I will be directed on how we give what has been promised.
We want to call the ones who are here. If your name was mentioned and you're here, please come. Please come here. Your name was mentioned. We want to give you. In here, there's a letter of commendation. There's a voucher. Tell your neighbor voucher. Voucher, oh. Real. See, ile ya nini. And we also have a gift hamper. Let's appreciate them. Let's appreciate them. Tafadhali, tafadhali. Let's appreciate them. So I will stand here so that they can go nearer. Or I can stand behind here so that I can be able. So we have Thomas Sababadi. Let's appreciate him. Thank you. We have Rachel Muse. We have Rosemary. She's not in with us. We have Catherine Wanje here. Let's appreciate Catherine. Hey, ni wivu ama ni nini tu, ndio hiyo sasa. We have Solomon Juma. I think that's it. The others are not in today. They had given their apologies and we will be able to get their gift vouchers and their hamper to them. And also for those who are, I hope the depot management had joined us to appreciate the respective in the depots, and we will be able to dispatch we look at the best way. Unajua voucher ni kama pesa na itumwi tu hivi hivi, so lazima itumwe, ipewe security hapo, tuipee securico. Hatuwezi tuma na G4S, lazima iende na securico, na hatutasema ni ngapi, but there is a voucher. Someone will go to a supermarket and will be able to come out with a basket of goodies in the supermarket. So thank you very much. We give it back to Mercy. Asante.
Tuwapigie makofi mazuri. Now you know. Now you do what? Don't tell me now you know. Just tell yourself, now I know. Yeah, I will do it next time. Thank you so much. I want to take this opportunity to thank the team, the SHE team, and I want to recognize the presence of our acting managing director. It's just coming right now. Karibu sana Bwana Pius. And I want to welcome you. It's better late than never. We have always said like that. Makofi kwake. You can just come and tell us a word of wisdom as we close out. For your information, acting MD, we were given goodies here for reporting near miss.
Okay. Good afternoon, colleagues. So where are my goodies? You said everybody was given goodies. Where are my goodies? Oh, so I didn't report. Okay. Anyway, good afternoon, everyone. You're well? First, let me say I'm sorry. Accept my apologies. We've been having a board meeting since morning. I expected that we'll finish at about 11, which I was intending to join. And I don't know whether there were celebrations or whatever activities you are taking. We partake together. I had also requested the directors to join us, and they had gladly accepted, but apparently the agendas took a bit long. So they've just left, and they've sent me to just pass their apologies that they couldn't attend. I'm made to understand you are wrapping up. I don't want to keep you guys here, but just to say, let's maintain our position of ensuring that we are the best in class when it comes to issues safety. Sindio? Yeah, we need to set the pace to stand out. You know, in a crowd, you can just fit in a crowd. But I always tell people, don't fit in a crowd. Always stand out. My pleas as KPC will stand out when it comes to issues of safety. Will be the reference point in this industry. That when people think of safety and they want to refer to where things are done in the right way, and where people want to go and benchmark, then KPC will be the place. Allow me just to appreciate Lucy, to appreciate the team which put this together for a good work well done. My appreciation to Engineer Muriuki, who stood or held brief for Dr. Masharia, for Pius and Dr. Masharia. You know that is how it is. I'm holding brief for Dr. Masharia. So he held brief for me, and me, I held brief for Dr. Masharia. So thank you, Muriuki, and thank you, everyone. I wish you a good afternoon, and enjoy the long weekend. Asanteni.
Makofi ya radi moja. Ingine. Thank you so much. An Englishman said it's better late than never. In fact, you have gotten the best. because we said and we have promised here we are going to report near miss, and we are going also to work in good conditions, isn't it? As you go, I want to take this opportunity to thank you, our service providers, Tintin, for giving us this opportunity and giving us breakfast. The SHE team, thank you so much for good work. And for you who came to actually experience the launch and participate and report the near miss today, thank you so much. Just turn to your neighbor and tell them, Asante Sana. So on that note, I want to request that we be on our feet. I want to request my sister Catherine. You know, they normally say we resemble. So I want her to come so that when she's praying to us, you can see the resemblance in us. Catherine, karibu sana. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Let's bow our hands and pray. Father, in the name of our Lord Jesus, we bow before you this afternoon to honor and to appreciate your presence in our meeting, Jehovah God. We honor you for the lounge. We honor you for KPC. We honor you for the safety team, the SHE team, Jehovah God, for each and every one of us. We pray that whatever we've launched today will create a safe environment for us. Thank you, Jesus, for being with us and taking care of us. In the mighty name of Jesus, I do pray and give thanks.
And now may the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ and the love of God and the fellowship of the Holy Spirit be with us now and forevermore. Amen. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We can leave at our own pleasure.